This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: increase in road rage, police give update on Bucks Village murder, and cloudy skies set to obscure eclipse of the sun.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties is on the up. Thames Valley showed the biggest increase, with 223 incidents involving road rage reported to them. More from Ben Nye.
As road rage isn't a crime in itself, the figures represent reported crimes which include road rage as a factor. Incidents in Thames Valley trebled between last year and 2012, going from 72 to 223. Bedfordshire also showed an increase from 17 incidents to 35 over the same time period, whilst Hertfordshire has showed a slight decrease year on year.
Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a blow to the head. 31-year-old Adam Fanelli from Dunstable was found at the Nash Park Travellers site in Nash on Tuesday morning. A Home Office post-mortem examination has established a provisional cause of death. Thames Valley Police are repeating their appeal for information about the killing. The authorities in Tunisia say the two gunmen who attacked a museum in the capital on Wednesday had no known links to extremist groups. Islamic State said its fighters had carried out the attack, which killed 21 people, including a tourist from Britain. The former Foreign Office Minister and North East Bedfordshire MP Alistair Burt says the West needs to help Tunisia in whatever way it can.
We are facing something that perhaps we haven't really grasped just how serious it is to so many people right across the whole of the region, and we are inevitably involved, and we should be at the side of people who are wanting to do as much as they can against this and demonstrating how we can be supportive. And it's economic, it's ideological, and it's also in terms of the need to share intelligence and security interests.
A cross-party group of MPs says the media shouldn't be allowed to name people arrested for sexual offences until they're charged. The Home Affairs Committee says the identities of suspects shouldn't be revealed earlier unless there are exceptional circumstances. People parking in Welwyn Hatfield will have an extra 10 minutes grace period to park from Monday. It's part of government plans to introduce more lenient parking rules, which will take effect in April. Millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30. It will be a partial eclipse in the UK, although for many the view will be obscured by cloudy skies. Andrew Norton is a professor at the Open University.
They're rare in any given location. I mean, at any year there's generally one or two or three somewhere in the world, but we haven't had a total one in the UK since 1999. We've got another partial one in maybe 5 or 6 years' time, but the next total one from the UK is not till, I think, 2090.
In sport, Everton are out of the Europa League after a 5-2 defeat away to Dynamo Kiev. Saw them exit 6-4 on aggregate. The weather dry but cloudy this morning. Sunny periods this afternoon, but with a cool breeze. Maximum temperature 13 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Thank you, Simon. Sunny periods on the weather forecast. A joke for me and my sister, who's not even listening. Rage, grace and darkness. All my nicknames at school, and by coincidence, they're part of the show today. Kids are getting let out of school to go and look at the sun, not directly at it. That would be foolish. I'm tempted to look directly at it, just to teach the sun a lesson. No, don't, because we'll all go blind, and we all saw what happened in Day of the Triffids. Seriously, guys, I'm going to go into a hospital and have my eyes bandaged up. No flesh-eating plant is going to sting me with its poisonous venom. Etc., etc., etc. Local issues, sexual innuendo, something about willies and poo. That's the show. It is the show.
Across beds, hearts and
That's
bucks.
the show.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Angry text from a woman pretending to be a man. again. That's pretty much the show summed up.
And in 5 minutes, you unpick all the hard work that I do.
What?
Handcrafting something that you might find acceptable.
No.
I mean, you've just thrown the cold meat platter back in my face and demanded a steak.
I don't think I'd like a cold meat platter. I can understand Clarkson's fury. Cold meat. I don't like ham. So that's kind of the basis.
Ham is the tip of your cold meat iceberg.
Okay, what other meats would be on a cold meat? What's a grill? A mixed grill?
Yeah.
That's like sausages and bacon, yeah?
And that, yeah.
Okay, I could dig that. What's a cold meat platter?
Ham.
Right.
Don't like ham, you see? She said ham straight away.
Your salamis.
Oi.
Chorizo.
Oi vey.
Parma ham. I mean...
Enough already.
I don't like cooked ham, but I do like a bit of Parma ham. Although
Clarkson was right to smack that fella in the face. He should have taken a bat to his bottom.
Oh, tell you what put me off
Give him
Parma
a good.
ham.
Should have. May and Hammond should have pinned that. Right, Hammond should have pinned that guy down. He should have tempted him with his girly eyes into a room. Then when he came in, I don't know. May or Nish or someone should have slammed the door shut. Nish is a guy that works there. I don't know why he put it here. I don't know why he popped into my head. Should have slammed the door shut, held the door, and then Clarkson should have whipped down that producer's trousers and pants, and then whacked his bottom with a cricket bat. Cold meat platter. Totally on Clarkson's side on this. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, fair play. The producer's at his wit's end. Tough. You know what I'm talking about, Kelly. And you know what I'm talking about, Catherine. And you know what I'm talking about, Willis.
What?
I miss Willis.
Aye.
I wish he still worked here.
Yeah. Should we have a record? It's really scratched, and this one, it certainly didn't play when I was playing it before the show.
If it scratches again, bang it.
Put a penny on the arm. Means it plays a little bit. Yeah, it weighs it through the scratch. Plays a bit slower, but it weighs it through the scratch. So it's definitely worth.
Have you got a penny?
Yeah, I have actually. Well, let's get a pen. Tell you what. I've got a 5 pence, and that's the size of a penny from the 70s. So put that down, which means I'm next to play pool. Are you playing Winner Stays On, or can me and my mate come in?
No, let's play Winner Stays On.
Okay, let's keep our fingers crossed that this. Oh, it's gonna.
Final Friday, everyone.
Here we go.
All right, everybody, let's get on board. Gonna take a little trip down the river, That's a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. And I never lost 1 minute of sleeping, worrying about the way things might have been. Been with me for 14
suspected the Phil Spector wall of sound was not the description for his production technique. It was a security device he'd installed around his home, whereby people could walk onto his property, but if they did, their ears were assaulted by a literal wall of sound that was so cacophonous, it would deafen any intruder.
No, the neighbours would complain about that. You've got to go brown noise, I think. It's less obtrusive.
Well, brown noise hadn't been invented, of course, in 1964. That wasn't until the 80s when we decided that we needed to make rioters poo their pants. Now, road rage is on the up in the 3 counties. We're certainly reporting it more. Are we?
Well, that's the point, that the reported instances are up.
Thank you very much. We are not, but it is up.
I would, though.
Oh, I would as well. It seems drivers are angriest in the Thames Valley. It's a very angry valley, with police called in to investigate. Come on, take this seriously, please, guys. This is a serious...
I wrote this with serious fingers. So can you put your serious mouth around it?
It seems drivers are angriest in the Thames Valley, the angriest of all valleys, with police called in to investigate 223 incidents last year. Also been a rise in rage in Bedfordshire. Well, Hertfordshire's calmed down ever so slightly on the year before. Catherine, what's our beef?
Or the drivers, it would seem.
Yeah.
Hertfordshire aside, which is chilling out, Bedfordshire and the Thames Valley have had difficulty controlling their tempers over the last 12
It's a very angry valley. I don't know. Maybe is it because they're low down? Is that it? So has anyone done any research into valleys and anger?
It's difficult.
Go and live in the Grand Canyon. It's a canyon. It's different from a valley. Carry on. What's our beef? Catherine. I had a driver who cut me up yesterday on the A4. Right, he cut me up, so I flashed him.
Right.
So he gave me the sign of, as if to say...
Coffee beans.
He gave me the coffee bean sign. All right, so I wasn't having that. So I put my full beam on.
Oh, that'll teach him. What did he do then?
He did that thing to his mirror, so the full beam had no impact on him. But then he then pulled to the side and then was going to drive up next to me to speak to me.
Uh-oh.
Well, let's just say that...
you drove away.
No. I had a passenger in the car who then got my mobile phone and started filming them. And the gentleman saw the mobile phone and he did absolutely nothing whatsoever. Did absolutely nothing whatsoever. Here's the footage. Would you like to see the footage?
Yes. I hope there's no swearing involved.
Well, so do I, actually. You see, that's the passenger in my car holding up the phone.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Oh, he sees the phone and he does nothing.
Oh, that'll teach him.
That'll teach him. I was listening to Radio 4 there.
It's a good job you had that passenger.
What's our beef, Catherine?
Well, other drivers...
I've got to hurry you up, so you haven't got much time for this now, so just get straight to the chase.
Either we've got...
Not a literal chase, that'll make them furious.
Listen.
Yes?
It's either other drivers or
Yes.
we're just more likely to phone the police, to be honest, and pursue a legal case rather than just letting it lie. Thames Valley is the biggest area with a problem, but it also seems to have the most aggression behind the wheel. 223 incidents involving road rage reported to the police last year. That's more than 3 times the number of reports of 2012.
Yeah.
There was 72 back then, so if you want to do the mathematics, you can check. I'm right. Similarly, in Bedfordshire, the number of reports of road rage doubled from 17 in 2012 up to 35 in 2014. Meanwhile, Hertfordshire has actually showed a steady decline from 19 in 2012 to just 6
Do we know?
last year.
Do we know why these figures have gone up?
Difficult to say, but an expert in road rage, not that he's good at it, but he knows about it, we'll be speaking to you later on, says that the main reason for road rage lie in situations that either inconvenience or endanger the driver. So bad driving habits, someone cutting you up, hold-ups like traffic jams. Traffic jams can be major contributors to road rage. So if you consider the effect roadworks or accidents during rush hour might have, it's easy to see how there might be more cases. However, Thames Valley Police say it could be down to a change in the way that they record reported crime. So because road rage itself isn't a crime, these figures include incidents which include road rage in the file. Therefore, hang on, if they're recording more information, this could account for some of the increase as well.
I have been involved in some wicked road rage incidents.
It's funny how it always happens to you.
It does happen a lot, but some brilliant... I had a guy throw a dice at me.
Dangerous.
I had an old man, like a really old man, cut me up, get out of his car, tap on my window. I wound it down. Like he's in his 70s. If you effing do that again, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, with...
I don't know.
Did you ask him? How do you mean to
I was
do this?
laughing out of terror. It's just some great road rage incidents. Some of my best moments have been arguing with other drivers.
In my younger years, if someone gave me abuse on the roads, I would simply blow them a kiss. That really annoys them. Don't do that. Just ignore them.
Guys, your best and indeed your worst road rage incidents. We're not making light of this very serious issue. And also, will you be looking at the arrogant son today?
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Many major delays so far on the M25 or on the A1M. There are roadworks though on the A1M in both directions between junction 1 for the M25 and 2 for Welham Green, which could cause some delays later on this morning. Having a look at the speed sensors in Potters Bar, and Southgate Road has roadworks at Park Avenue, but that's looking fine so far this morning. And in High Wycombe on the A40 Oxford Road, expect delays on Temple Street in both directions for the roadworks there. Looking at the train departure boards, and the 6:17 service from Watford Junction to London Euston has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. 6:16, it's Friday the 20th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The number of road rage incidents reported to the police in the Three Counties is on the up. Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a blow to the head. And millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30. Although the arrogance of the sun will be shielded by the cockiness of the cloudy skies.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The Six Nations concludes tomorrow.
It's a thrilling encounter.
And it's all still to play for.
It's a brilliant game. Attack and defence on both sides.
Starting at 12:30 with Italy against Wales.
Scott Williams with a try that brings Wales back into contention.
Then from 2:30, can Ireland retain the title away to Scotland?
It is gathered. It's Henshaw. It's Ireland on the scoreboard.
And at 5, the match that decides the championship. England play France. The Six Nations, tomorrow from 12:30 on BBC One and across the BBC.
Where's my 5 pence? Hang on. 5 pence. There you go. Any more change? I haven't got any more change. Otherwise, I can't do it. I've got no more change, just.
Oh, do you know what? That was absolutely amazing. It took me straight back to when I was 5 years old on the wheels of steel with my dad and my uncle, and people looking up at the DJ thinking, is this a remix of this tune, or what is going on here?
You just can't tell these days.
No, you can't. That was amazing.
It's really dusty. Did you wipe it off beforehand?
Yeah, I wiped it off. I've got a feeling, Justin, that someone has been playing around. This needle looks a little bent to me. Same studio that Tony Blackburn uses, bent needles. I think you know what I'm saying.
I think I know exactly what you're saying. I know he was playing with that bent needle about 2 or 3 days ago.
Famously so. Let's try this.
Yeah.
That needle doesn't look good.
I enjoyed that so much.
That needle doesn't look straight. Well, try this. Hang on. There we go. Here we go. Come on, guys. Here we go. It's the needle.
Oh, man, what's going on?
It's the needle. You're loving this, aren't you, Dealey?
I'm absolutely loving it. Great times.
Someone is going to get a Chinese burn.
How do we get a new needle?
Put the needle on the record.
I don't want to put the needle on the record because it turns out the needle is bent.
Well, look, I'll tell you what, Colin Berry, I know for a fact, has got a spare needle in his car, but he's half an hour away.
Well, I'm going to try another one, Dealey.
Don't, because it's the needle.
The third time lucky.
My records were in peak.
I'll tell you what, hold on, guys. Let me just focus here for a second. Let me just focus, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to use my special powers here as proof that I have got them, all right?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so I'm thinking right now, Uri Geller style, I would like this record to play in full without any sticking whatsoever.
You ready?
Do this for the audience across beds, hearts and bugs.
Here we go.
Go for it, I'm focused.
Thank you, Justin. Here we go. You ready?
Excuse me, my name is Mark Lindsay. And
Oh, hang on a second. Just cut to the singing. Here we go. Here we go. You ready, Dealey?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Focus, boy.
I'm focused.
Here we go. Let's have it.
See her fly, she's dancing down the street now. Matching eyes with everyone she meets now. Clothes she wears, she weaves from time. And her name's Cinderella Sunshine. Come the evening, she'll be here. With the dawn, she disappears. Where you go, Cinderella Sunshine? Cinderella Sunshine, Miss Sunshine. She could stay. How many times I told her? But like the wind, you shouldn't try to hold her. Golden pumpkin coach and four. Do you take her from my door? Come the evening, she'll be here. With the dawn, she disappears. Where do you go, Cinderella Sunshine? Cinderella Sunshine, where do you go, Miss Sunshine?
Dan, where did that idea come from?
It came from my brain.
It's like killing a bee with a bazooka.
Kelly, for God's sake, back away from this. Actually, it wasn't too bad.
Okay, well, what we found a way around it, Justin.
Yep.
That worked. Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Yes.
Featuring Mark Lindsay.
Yep.
Album version of Cinderella Sunshine. We're not going to take the risk. We're going to put in an order. We're going to file an 862/B form, put in an order for a new needle.
Yep.
We're going to play music MP3 styley, but I'm going to play this at the end. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
I've kind of just proved a point there too. You're kind of brushing over it, really.
What point?
Special powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Well-
You've had two records there which stuck. I focused and I said this record will play, and it's played in its entirety. And you're just brushing over that fact.
We're going to play this over all the music we play. Listen, shh. Just ever such a slight bit of crackle from Barbara Woodhouse there.
Okay.
Barbara Woodhouse's crackle will...
My theory is a slightly deeper groove means that that we're not scratching.
I just think that today's show is going to be a Tuesday show, and that we should just never mention it again.
It's the eclipse.
It's the spooky eclipse, and wasn't it Friday the 13th last week?
It was. Boss, I've got a question for you.
Yes, my love.
Do you want me to be permanently damaged? It's a yes or no answer.
In that case, yes.
OK, fair enough. We'll leave it there.
Now, a few weeks ago, the committee secretary, Eric Pickles, took great pleasure giving... and then he made an announcement about giving drivers a little pre-election treat. 10 minutes grace in between your parking ticket running out and traffic wardens putting a fine on your windscreen. I don't get this. I think it's silly. The initiative is due to roll out nationally in April, but Welwyn Hatfield is jumping the gun, and they're starting on Monday, Just. What's going on?
Excitement. Yes, he said that he wanted to end, as he puts it, the overzealous culture of parking enforcement. He wants parking wardens to be more lenient when it comes to dishing out fines. So what he said he's going to do is going to be introducing a 10-minute grace period.
Oh, right.
This is for council-controlled parking, whether it's street parking or a car park. So if you go back to your car a few minutes late, you won't get fined. In saying that, though, Ian,
yes.
The other week I did get fined in Berkhamsted.
Did you not say Eric said it'll be all right?
No, I didn't say that, but I said, how long did you give me? And he said, well, we have a 6-minute grace period. So councils have them anyway. In addition to this, and I think a lot of people will be very happy about this, Mr. Pickles said he is ending the industrial use of CCTV spy cars to enforce parking
How's
fines.
it going to work, Justin? If I'm honest, it sounds like a load of nonsense.
Yep. In layman's terms, it means you have an extra 10 minutes parking for free, in layman's terms.
What is a layman?
Oh, that means, in simple terms, boss, in simple terms. You go back to your car...
But who is this layman? Okay. You mentioned him, Justin. I don't understand what he is.
He's a historical figure.
Well, what is it?
Well, it's just a term, isn't it? That's all
but what does it mean? Don't just use a term without knowing its provenance.
I'm trying to make it simple for you, so...
But what is a layman? What is this man laying?
I don't know.
Well, could you look it up for me and get back to us?
He's laying an extra 10 minutes for free.
Good lad, thank you.
I think here. So if you go back to your car a few minutes late, you're going to get away with this. Mr. Pickles said he no longer wants motorists being treated like criminals, but just overstaying their parking by a few minutes.
Well, I don't get this. If you've overstayed your parking, layman or otherwise, layperson, technically these days, then you've overstayed your parking. So what's going to happen? They've got 10 minutes grace. People get a ticket at 11 minutes past, and they go, oh.
It's exactly what's going to happen. It's like on the motorway. If you said, OK, from next week, and of course, at some point in the future, this may happen, we're going to up the speed to 80 miles an hour.
What?
No, just giving you an example here. But if you did that, suddenly people would be doing maybe 85, 90 instead of 75, 80.
I was worried you were going to become our very own Zayn Malik and go nuts.
No.
It's being enforced across the country in April, but in Welwyn Hatfield it starts on Monday.
Yep, that's right. Starting on Monday, the councillor Helen Bromley there says this will be helpful for businesses and the public. She says it will attract people into the town centre, make it easier for them to shop. However, her critics, like the BPA, the British Parking Association,
plums, yes.
those guys.
Who are we speaking to later?
Yep. Is it the same fella I had a row with last time?
I think it's a woman this time.
OK, all right.
They say it won't make a difference at all because, as you say, and you might be right just for once here, they say people will still be getting the same amount of fines because they'll be going beyond the 10 minutes grace period.
Justin, we'll speak to you about 10-2.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the arrogance of the sun and also the history of the layman.
Yes, OK.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff.
You're a good lad.
Cheers.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Looking at the cameras on the motorways, and it's all moving fine at the moment. It's quite quiet, and on the A1M there's roadworks between the M25 and Junction 2 for Welham Green, which could get busy later on, but it's looking fine at the moment. In Northwood on Rickmansworth Road, that's been partially blocked by an accident at Maxwell Road, and in Chesham on Amersham Road there's electricity works going on at Clifton Road, which could cause some delays later on this morning. Having a look at the speed sensors in Luton, and there are no delays at the moment around Dunstable Road, but there are some temporary traffic lights at Shaftesbury Road, which could cause delays later on this morning. No reports of any delays on the trains. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6:30. I'm Simon Oxley. The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties has increased. Thames Valley showed the biggest rise, with 223 incidents reported. Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a blow to the head. And millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30, although for many the view will be obscured by cloudy skies.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Everton are out of the Europa League after a 5-2 defeat away to Dynamo Kiev saw them exit 6-4 on aggregate. It means England has failed to provide any quarter-finalist in a European competition for the first time since 1993. In tomorrow's football, Championship leaders Watford host Ipswich, having added defender Matthew Connolly to their squad on loan from Cardiff. In League One, Milton Keynes Dons are at home to Notts County with a fitness doubt over Dean Bowditch. Here's manager Carl Robinson.
We don't know if he'll be 100% ready, so that then puts him into an area where you could get injured again and you're missing for 3-4 games, or are you best missing for one game and you know he's 100% ready for the forthcoming game. So I think it's important that we just do what's right for the football club and for the player.
In League Two, Luton and Wickham don't play until Tuesday evening's meeting at Kenilworth Road, but tomorrow Stevenage hosts Dagenham. Victory would lift the borough above Luton in the playoff places. Manager Graham Westley says he and his team can draw on their playoff winning experience of 2011.
You have to be ready to do what it takes to be better than other people who are trying hard to get to the line first as well. So we're just gearing up. We know what it's going to take, and we know just how determined you have to be, just how focused you have to be, just how much blood you've got to be willing to spill. And I think this camp's ready to do what it takes.
Bedford Town Chairman David Howell says the club is up for sale, with the current board standing down at the end of the season. He made the announcement at a public meeting at the club last night. Bedford Rugby Club are in Championship action this evening. They host the Cornish Pirates with a 7:45 kick-off at Goldington Road. The Blues have already beaten the Pirates twice this season. There's online commentary via the BBC Sport website. And hosts Australia are playing Pakistan in the third Cricket World Cup's quarter-final. A short while ago, Pakistan were 168 for 6 from 38 overs. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 7.
Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. I need to laugh, and when the sun is out, I've got something I can laugh about. I feel good in a special way. I'm in love and it's a sunny day. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. We take a walk, the sun is shining down, burns my feet as they touch the ground. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Then we lie beneath a shady tree. Loving me, she feels good, she knows she's looking fine. I'm so proud to know that she is mine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine.
It's the Beatles, isn't it? It's the Beatles. Not played on record as we bent our needle. Bent needles, eh? God blimey. Still, just send out lots of love to Zayn Malik, shall we, today, who's...
stressed out.
He's very stressed out, and he's having a tough time, bless him. He's only 22.
I know.
He's got the weight of the world on his poor little shoulders.
I heard someone on radio this morning, someone who's not very nice, saying, grow up! And I thought, what? He's 22. This is 22. Him growing up.
Yeah, this is, he's growing up in the glare of the world's spotlight. He'll leave the band and hopefully he'll sort himself out. Yeah. And that would be nice, wouldn't it?
That might be the best for him, but it will be hard. £6,000 to see now. Have you seen this?
See what?
Well, exactly. 10,000 tourists who forked out up to £6,000 each to see a total eclipse in the Faroe Islands will have to do it through thick cloud.
What the?
The cocky cloud is intervening in the spectacle of the 16 years. They've headed to the Faroe Islands, one of the only 2 places in the world where today's eclipse can be observed from land. Forecasters predict an 80% chance of cloud with the 9:41 event, which will last 150 seconds.
I've looked directly at the sun before, and I'm still here. I used to do it all the time in the 70s.
You shouldn't, though.
Well, you shouldn't.
How are your retinas? Burnt?
Burnt to a crisp, yes. It's in all the newspapers, the arrogance of the sun, and we've been forced by the BBC suits that we have to talk about it today. Don't take a selfie of the eclipse, says the Mail, and all the other things you need to know about the celestial spectacular that will turn day into night this morning. Never look directly at the sun. Special eclipse filters can be used to... Just put your hand over your eyes.
Just don't bother.
That's what we used to do in the 70s. We'd look at it like that until you couldn't see anything. You go, oh, I'm blind. And this pinhole viewer, right, you will need 2 pieces of white card with a needle or compass. Poke a hole in the centre in one of the cards. Hold each card about 3 feet apart, with the one with the hole in the closest to the sun. So basically, you're looking at the shadow of but you're not. But then you're looking at the eclipse will be projected onto the other card. So you're looking at a card going dark. That's it. That's what this is meant to be. A dark card. I'll colour a card in black for you. I'll start and then I'll get bored. If you could finish it off for me, Kelly, that would be great. Thank you.
The Sun's done this thing. Well, I mean, it's sponsored by a biscuit, but
God, makes me want to puke.
some paper that you can look through.
But it's a biscuit.
Are you really that bothered?
A box can also be used. Make a tiny hole in one side and point towards the sun. Place white paper on the inside to view the eclipse. Well, no, you're not viewing the eclipse. You're looking at shadow. Listen, and I'm not saying this as the BBC's thoughts, but I've looked at the sun loads. It's all right.
It's not comfortable, though, and it'll make you sneeze.
Well, it'll make you sneeze. That's the worst thing that ever happened to me.
And according to... Well, and again, this is from the BBC.
Here we go.
The advice is don't do it.
Could it signal the end of the world, asks the Daily Mail. I'll answer that question for you, no. Where's the best place to see it? Outside. And then on the radio yesterday, on Radio Bloomin' 4, who you would think would know better, they said the best place to see it is on the telly. Oh, for goodness sakes. It's a natural phenomenon, and you want us to watch it on the telly? You having a laugh? Jog on, love. Jog on. I'm having none of this.
The best place to watch it is on the radio.
What?
Is the safest.
It is the safest, and Justin Dealey's going to be describing it in words throughout the day. Don't know, we might not go to him, but he's going to be describing it in words throughout
I don't know
the day.
whether he's going to see anything. It is a bit cloudy, isn't it?
This sun makes me want to really eat my own fingers. Is there still time to buy viewing glasses? That's unlikely, as most of the pairs, which are fitted with a special form of filter, have been sold out for days.
Hey, I've not seen any.
Don't think standard sunglasses will be a substitute either, no matter how expensive they are, warns optometrist Malcolm McPherson. People might think I've got good quality sunglasses here, but that's not good enough. Sunglasses will cut out the UV light, which is the shorter wavelength radiation, but
Anyway.
You excited about the sun, Kerry? Kelly, you're a young person. Kerry?
I've seen it before.
Yeah? Have you seen it not there?
And I've seen it not there.
Okay.
I've seen the eclipse before, and it was exciting.
What? This is it.
It was. I was a lot younger. I'm not too bothered about it now.
You've got this excitement from social media, like Twitter.
No, I don't think so.
I think you have.
I think I remember it when I was younger, and I think, oh yeah, that was good.
No.
If you're young,
you didn't.
Just go and watch it. It's
no.
like, it could be once in a lifetime.
No, well, it won't be.
No, it won't be.
It'll be once every 19 years.
You'll be bored by the next time it comes round.
Exactly. So you might as well not bother now.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad we agree, Kelly. Thank you.
Do you know where I was last time there was an eclipse? Barcelona Airport. Do you know what I was not doing? Looking at the eclipse, and I'm not going to do it again. Hey.
0845. No. Well, you've actually typed a political message on the screen. Stop the dissing the eclipse man.
Yeah. Stop the dissing the eclipse man.
Who's the eclipse man?
He'll get you.
Is he the layman?
Who is the layman? What you got?
Well, OK, here we go.
Someone's asked me to do a shout-out for their company. Joe, are you nuts?
We don't do that.
Are you absolutely nuts? Also, I don't know. I've gone to your Twitter feed. It doesn't say what your company does. You could be like a bomb maker. So I don't think so.
Something I do like about Joe, though, is that his surname rhymes. Joe Rowe.
If there was something in it for me free, payola, well, maybe I'll be inclined to do it. Unless you do work for a bomb company, in which case I'm not interested in your sick trade in blood.
And you need to take a look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
An armed thug who held up a shop made his getaway on a child's bike.
What the heck?
The funny side of crime, apparently, at Worthing, West Sussex. That's all I know about it, but there's an image to conjure with.
Well, another criminal got away in a bright orange Rolls Royce.
Really?
I think so,
Seems
yeah.
a little blatant.
That Theresa May and her cleavage, what are we going to do with her? She's been a very, very naughty girl.
Are we going to ensure that women wear turtlenecks if they don't want everybody else to have a look down their cleavage?
Budget day, she wore a red dress with the tiniest bit of cleavage. There's hardly anything on display, and it was pointed out. And now Jamois in the Daily Mail says there's no place for that cleavage at work, Theresa.
No place for it.
Where do you stand on cleavage in the office? On ceremony? On guard? On a box peering down in hope of a better view? I hate to sound like a spoilsport, but I do feel that cleavage has no place in the corporate workplace. None for either sex. What? Unless you're a bunny girl or a burlesque dancer, or unless you're pole dark, please put them away. It was only like the tiniest little bit of... It was like the tip of a builder's bum crack. It was just that tiny little bit of mystery.
Mystery?
I think you girls could learn a lesson from Theresa May. Just give...
Well, I mean, if ever my top slips, there are a number of people who are quite happy to point it out.
Jump down it.
Police were called when two grown-up brothers clashed over
Xbox.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Hey!
They kicked off when one killed the other's character in the hit game, known for its violence. Neighbours in Plymouth rang cops who spent 90 minutes calming the men. A Devon and Cornwall police sergeant said, "These were not children, they were adults."
They were adults. But what you do, put the controller down and come outside.
With your hands up.
Put the controller down. Oh, I do love me a bit of Grand Theft Auto.
I've played it nicely. And I've tried the bashing as well.
There's a very funny video of a gentleman who, and it's hilarious, who goes around playing Grand Theft Auto by the rules of the world.
Yes.
And
picking people up, dropping them off.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
I would do that.
It's fun, man. I always, in video games, you don't get it so much now, but there was a period where you'd make moral choices, and you could either make a good moral choice and a bad moral choice.
Which one was the more fun? Usually being the bad one.
I always did the good. I couldn't do the bad moral choices. I always went for. I would always go and help the orphan child and give the money back to the beggar and all of that stuff. Always.
Do you remember those books that you used to get? And
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, turn to page 9 if you wanted to turn left, and you'd turn to page 9, and then you'd be like, "Oh no, go back."
Yeah, you keep your finger in so you can go back. I had to I had to give an award to Ian Livingstone, the guy that wrote those books.
Wow.
He was the coolest man ever. He now makes video games.
Wowzers.
Yeah, wowzers indeed.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting idea. Travel.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Northwood on Rickmansworth Road, that's been partially blocked by an accident at Maxwell Road. And in Borehamwood, looking at the speed sensors, it's beginning to look busy between the Holiday Inn turn-off southbound towards the Stirling Corner. Nearby there on the A1M in both directions, there's roadworks between the M25 and Junction 2 for Welham Green. They're not causing any queues at the moment, but are likely to get busy later on. And on the M25 anti-clockwise, it's slow between Junction 20 for Kings Langley and 19 for Watford. Looking at the train departure boards, things are all running to time at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. 6:45, it's Friday the 20th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties has increased. Police investigating the murder of a man in Buckinghamshire Village say he died from a blow to the head. And millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30, although we probably won't get to see it because of the clouds, which is good, because it's boring. And anyone who thinks it's not boring is an idiot. Here's Elizabeth.
Beds, hearts and bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sorry, Mr. Iain Lee, you calling me an idiot?
I don't know, Elizabeth. I don't know what your views are on the boring eclipse.
I find it very interesting.
Well, then, in that case, you've called yourself that. Unbelievable.
I have not. But I love the way you say millions of people, but not us, I don't think.
Yay!
There's going to be a lot of cloud around. It's really disappointing for me and lots of other people besides me, Iain. So yeah, now look, the further north and west you can go across the three counties, so perhaps across the northwestern areas of Buckinghamshire, maybe into northern areas of Hertfordshire, you may we stand a chance, basically, of seeing something. Perhaps some of that cloud is going to burn back, but I think for most of us, it will be quite a cloudy affair. Lots of cloud in the way of our view, but you may just notice the skies darkening for a while, the wind lightening and the temperature dropping, as if a storm was approaching, for example. So yeah, bear that in mind. That's exciting all the same. And of course, there's lots of coverage on the BBC. Now, there will be lots of brightness emerging just at the wrong time, so staying dry today, and by the afternoon it's looking really very sunny, and it'll be very pleasantly warm in the sunshine too, warmer than yesterday with highs of around 13 or even perhaps 14 degrees. Overnight tonight, cloudy, there'll be a few outbreaks of rain here and there, and then the weekend is looking cooler with a northerly wind. This will help to improve the air quality, so there's some more good news. There'll be some sunshine around at times as well, particularly on Sunday, and it's looking dry, so well, enjoy the eclipse.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. We're out of time now. We've got to move on, so thanks for that. Bye-bye. Unbelievable.
Roberto Perroni on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Tip-top etiquette expert William Hanson, who is not a fan of politicians oversharing.
Oh, good afternoon, Roberto. I feel slightly nauseous after that music.
Every weekday from 3.
Let's talk to Harriet Harman, the leader of the Labour Party.
We've been in Bedford and Cambridge, and we've had very interesting discussions.
Let's talk cold callers. Do you have a tried and tested method of getting rid of cold callers?
You've got to make up a word before you go on the phone, and so you can fit that word in without them realising the most time.
Saying actually helps you feel calmer. Do you believe this, Sharon?
Definitely. And since I read that, I've been doing it and I'm well chilled.
Roberto Perroni, weekdays from 3 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Oh no, this is too slow.
Well, I know. Look,
No.
listen, the album's worked.
No.
I've got a belter here. Look, let's
No.
try this. Come on.
No.
Give it a little go.
What is that? I'm not playing that.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Oh, flipping it.
Come on.
He's got a bent needle.
Well, look.
What track?
Faded. Track 2.
Okay.
Get it on.
And your head be it. Mm-hmm.
It's like candy. I can feel it when you walk, even when you talk. It takes over me. You're so dandy. I wanna know, can you feel it too? Just like I do. This stuff is starting now. It's the same feeling I always seem to get around you. There's no mistaking, I'm clearly taken by the simple mere thought of you. This stuff is starting now. This stuff is starting now. This stuff is starting now. My eyes roll in my head. I toss and turn in my bed. In the morning when I think about you. Yes, I do. Simply put, you're the reason why. Even though I'm real shy, I attempt to look my best for you. Indeed, I do. Just for you.
Back in the record playing business deals.
Hey.
Hey, now listen, we very nearly lost Kelly Betts then.
Yeah.
What on earth is going on in upstairs?
What do you mean?
Well, Kelly, what's going on?
A gentleman rang and said, I have some cake. I'm upstairs.
Whee.
And I said, oh, okay.
Upstairs in this building?
Yeah.
Hey.
That's a bit frightening.
Hey.
So then I went into Ian's studio and I said, guys, there's
That's
a man
me.
upstairs. That's you.
Yeah.
He's got cake. And Kath was like, go the back way. Go the back way so that you're behind the reception desk. Don't go the front way.
She did say that.
And then Ian...
Because bullets can't go over the reception, can they?
Well, I'm just thinking about getting a head start, at least you've got something there.
Well.
Yeah, barrier. Then Ian decided to take a picture of my last
I've got the last photo taken of you ever. I've just tweeted that.
Yeah.
But what happened with the man?
I started to go upstairs. I heard voices.
Yeah.
One was the man on the phone.
Yeah.
The other was the man on the line, Dealey.
Dealey, yeah.
Yep.
And they were having a chat.
Where did this get? We'll get to the point of the story. What?
Come on, boss, come on.
I carried on walking up the stairs. I thought, Dealey's there, it's safe.
Never safe with Dealey at the top of the stairs.
Boss, thanks for the cake, boss. Oh, whoa. And the man's all like, yes, cake here. And I thought, oh.
But this is... You're telling me nothing. Get to the crux of the story.
On.
There was Dealey.
Well, Dealey, why don't you tell me about the story?
Okay, I'll tell you what
she's
happened.
annoying me
Very
now.
simply, a man turned up. Apparently, he's a fan of yours.
Hey!
Yes, we have a fan. And
well, hang on,
right
Justin.
now, because I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these onto the streets this morning.
What?
We have some cake here.
But why did a man bring us cake? That's what I'm confused by.
It's a rainy day, he said.
No, it's not. There's no such thing.
Yeah, apparently there is.
There's no such thing as Iranian Day.
Yeah, that's what he said.
It's Iranian New Year.
Oh, that's the fella.
It's Iranian men. Hallelujah, it's Iranian men. Hey, men. That's the theme tune to Iran's version of Blind Date. Yeah, guys? That's not bad. I'm thinking on my feet there.
Nice.
It's good.
It's Iranian men. Come on, guys. Is actually very, very funny.
Could be a big hit single.
But it's no such thing as Iranian Day, Justin. I'm not buying that, mate.
No, it's here, seriously. He turned up, lovely gentleman, big fan of the programme. We've got 3 boxes worth of cake here.
What kind of cake? I don't normally eat food supplied by listeners because of the famous Mike Mendoza incident where he ate a cake spiked with LSD. But I'm feeling hungry.
Yeah, it's spongy. It's spongy and it's a bit like a Victoria sponge.
Okay, but Iranian.
Would you like some?
Well,
is it in a sealed container or is it handmade?
This looks to me like it's been beautifully handmade.
Well, then I invite you to take that to the streets, Justin.
What?
It's in a cake box, though.
Where has the layman come from?
You tell me.
No,
Oh, come on, Justin.
Do you not remember 30 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Well, what happened 30 minutes ago?
I told you something in layman's terms.
Yeah, and I asked you to investigate the layman.
Yeah, I've been doing something else.
Flip it.
Well, what have you been doing, Justin?
I've been on the streets this morning, and I've been talking to people about the eclipse. Are they excited? And also, you posed a question earlier on.
Yeah, what is a layman?
No, not that one. You were posing a question in terms of arrogance. Who's got more of an arrogant swagger, the sun or the moon, correct?
I don't think I said that. No, not at all, mate.
I heard you talking about it.
You've gone in. Have you had a bite from that cake? Because you've gone nuts.
Hang on, you were saying earlier on, and I heard Catherine mention it as well 15 minutes ago, the cocky moon, the arrogant sun.
The cocky clouds we mentioned.
The cockiness of the clouds we talked about.
No.
Yes!
I think you're hearing what you want to hear. Anyway, what have you done?
Unbelievable.
I've been on the streets this morning asking people are they excited about the eclipse. Also, in terms of the arrogance, who's got more of it, the sun or the moon? Here's what people have had to say. So, the eclipse, you're well up for it, aren't you?
Of course I am, yes. Why wouldn't you be? It's first time in 16 years, next one's 2090. Last time I'm going to see it.
Okay, right. Here's a question for you. Who's more arrogant, the sun or the moon?
The moon for covering the sun up.
You think the moon's more arrogant?
Of course. The sun has a right to be out in the daytime.
Yeah.
So I would say the moon.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, the sun and the moon. Out of those two, who would you say who's got the more arrogant swagger?
Probably the sun.
Why the sun?
It's there whenever you want it or not. At one side of the world or the other, it's always lighting us up at one point.
Well, hang on,
The moon doesn't go in.
What about the moon?
What about the moon?
I've got no idea what just happened there. That is the weirdest 40... do you know what? Hang on a second. I can't believe I just heard that. Hang on, play that again.
So, the eclipse, You're well up for it, aren't you?
Of course I am, yes. Why wouldn't you be? It's first time in 16 years, next one's 2090. Last time I'm going to see it.
OK, right. Here's a question for you. Who's more arrogant, the sun or the moon?
The moon for covering the sun up.
You think the moon's more arrogant?
Of course. The sun has a right to be out in the daytime.
Yeah.
So I would say the moon.
OK, thank you very much. Now, the sun and the moon. Yeah. Out of those two, who would you say is... Who's got the more arrogant swagger?
Probably the sun.
Why the sun?
It's there whenever you want it or not. At one side of the world or the other, it's always lighting us up at one point.
Oh, you know, that actually went out on the radio. Unbelievable.
What's your beef?
Well, he's annoyed at the sun for still being there. What does he think happens to the moon?
He's talking about today.
Yeah, but what does he think happens to the moon?
And the stars.
Which, by the way, I think the moon is very humble, but that's not the opinion of the BBC.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I don't know why you did that. You've literally just made that up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the rules, Justin. You're not allowed to use your own initiative. I've spoken to you about this time after time after time.
Yep.
Oh.
Do not use your own initiative. We don't like that here at the BBC.
Okay.
Do as you're told.
All right.
Secondly, who is this layman?
It's just a term which is used to simplify something.
But who is the layman?
I don't know who the layman is. It's just a term.
You should have used common or garden.
Deal with it.
Oh.
Could you? Right. Could you find me a layman?
Yeah.
Could you do as you're told?
Yeah.
And we'll speak to you a little bit later on, OK?
I've got a question for you first.
Yes, just. Is
Okay.
this question come from your own initiative? Because if it has, I'm not really that keen.
OK, I'll ask you again. Do you want me to be permanently damaged today, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, OK, let's leave it there then.
I'll permanently damage you just after 9 o'clock, mate.
OK. Just a question about glasses, that was all. I need some. I'm going to Dunstable Downs later on for you, and I haven't got any glasses. Where can I get them from?
Just shield your eyes with your hand.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Wear a peaked cap.
Doesn't work like that.
Just squint.
No.
Well,
where can I get glasses from?
For goodness sake. I'll speak to you later.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25 anti-clockwise, it's slow from junction 20 for Kings Langley to 19 for Watford. And looking at the speed sensors, the A1 Barnet bypass is looking busy from the Holiday Inn turn-off southbound to Stirling Corner. In Northwood, there's been an accident on Rickmansworth Road, so that's partially blocked at Maxwell Road. And in Milton Keynes, looking at the speed sensors, there are no delays at the moment, but the A421 Standing Way has roadworks around the Kingston roundabout, so expect some queues there later on. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much, Sammy. Are you bothered by the solar eclipse and other stuff we were talking about? I don't know.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: road rage increase in the three counties, police update Bucks Village murder inquiry, and cloudy skies set to obscure eclipse of the sun.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties has increased. Thames Valley showed the biggest rise, with 223 incidents involving road rage reported to them. More from Ben Nye.
As road rage isn't a crime in itself, the figures represent reported crimes which include road rage as a factor. Incidents in Thames Valley trebled between last year and 2012, going from 72 to 223. Bedfordshire also showed an increase from 17 incidents to 35 over the same time period, whilst Hertfordshire has showed a slight decrease year on year.
Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a blow to the head. 31-year-old Adam Fanelli from Dunstable was found at the Nash Park Travellers site in Nash on Tuesday morning. A Home Office post-mortem examination has established a provisional cause of death. Thames Valley Police are repeating their appeal for information about the killing. The authorities in Tunisia say the two gunmen who attacked a museum in the capital on Wednesday had no known links to extremist groups. Islamic State said its fighters had carried out the attack, which killed 21 people, including a tourist from Britain. The former Foreign Office Minister and North East Bedfordshire MP Alistair Burt says the West needs to help Tunisia in whatever way it can.
We are facing something that perhaps we haven't really grasped just how serious it is to so many people right across the whole of the region, and we are inevitably involved, and we should be at the side of people who are wanting to do as much as they can against this and demonstrating how we can be supportive. And it's economic, it's ideological, and it's also in terms of the need to share intelligence and security interest.
A cross-party group of MPs says the media shouldn't be allowed to name people arrested for sexual offences until they're charged. The Home Affairs Committee says the identities of suspects shouldn't be revealed earlier unless there are exceptional circumstances. People parking in Welwyn Hatfield will have an extra 10 minutes grace period to park from Monday. It's part of government plans to introduce more lenient parking rules, which will take effect from April. Millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30. It will be a partial eclipse in the UK, although for many the view will be obscured by cloudy skies. Andrew Norton is a professor at the Open University.
They're rare in any given location. I mean, at any year there's generally one or two or three somewhere in the world, but we haven't had a total one in the UK since 1999. We've got another partial one in maybe 5 or 6 years' time, but the next total one from the UK is not till, I think, 2090.
In sport, Everton are out of the Europa League after a 5-2 defeat away to Dynamo Kiev. Saw them exit 6-4 on aggregate. The weather dry but cloudy this morning. Some sunny periods this afternoon, but with a cool breeze, a maximum temperature 13 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
If you follow me on Twitter at Iain Lee, you'll see I've just published the last ever photo taken of Kelly Betts. Gonna miss that girl. It's not a particularly good photo, but I thought the previous last ever photo was pretty good, and then another last ever photo surfaced. So this is the last known photo taken of Kelly Betts. Follow at Iain Lee. You'll see it. The show this morning: road rage, solar rage, and rage. When you get angry about angry things. You know the phone number.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Let's see if she's ready with the texts. Oh, for every morning.
Your speed dial.
I was too busy mourning the loss of Kelly Betts.
Every morning at this time, we come to you for texts. By we, I mean myself and the listener.
I'm getting over the last hour. You've got to give me 10 minutes.
Every morning, you're not ready.
So when will you learn?
No, it's not my lesson that needs to be learned. It be your lesson.
All right, well, hang on.
Well, no, I'm not going to. Now, the number of road rage incidents reported... If you want to send a text, 81333, start your text 3CR, and you're more than welcome to send swears to Catherine. The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties is on the up. Thames Valley showed the biggest increase, with 223 incidents involving road rage reported to them. Bedfordshire also showed an increase last year, whilst Hertfordshire has showed a slight decrease year on year. Simon Williams is from the RAC. Are more people reporting these incidents, Simon, or are we becoming angrier?
That's a very interesting question, Iain. I think generally there are people that are more predisposed to being angry in this kind of situation than others. And obviously some things can happen on the road which threaten your life to some extent, and some people's reaction to that can be extreme. We know from the RAC's annual report on motoring, which is a major piece of research we do among motorists, that 62% of people think that road rage has got worse in the last 5 years. And also, from the same research, so is the courtesy of other drivers. So I think that's part of the issue.
Why do we feel that in our cars we can get away with what we wouldn't do in the street face to face?
It does seem to change people's behaviour somewhat, and I think it probably is something very kind of primal, in that you do feel that sometimes your life has been put at risk, perhaps completely unnecessarily. But I think everyone I think everyone that drives does make mistakes from time to time. I think
people go nuts though, Simon. I mean, literally, it can end it can end in murder. There are some cases, but the honking of the horn, the flashing of the fingers, the shouting of the abuse. I've had a dice thrown at me. People can go nuts, can't they?
Yes, it is an extreme reaction that you do see from time to time, which is obviously totally over the top and not needed at all. In fact, our research shows that road rage is one of the top 5 causes, ironically, top 5 causes of stress for other drivers on the road, only ahead of things that also potentially cause road rage, things like driving too close behind you, driving, talking on a handheld mobile phone, and failing to signal
the thing that annoys me is middle lane hoggers when they're sort of doing 65 in the middle lane of a motorway, and you do see people who kind of they take it upon themselves to try and encourage those drivers to move to the side. They'll flash them, they'll go right up their backsides. Part of us feels like an indignant rage, don't we, that people aren't obeying the rules.
Yes, I think there's a real frustration among drivers, and I think anyone would feel this if you see someone driving in the middle lane. You now know it's been made illegal and you can be fined for it. But because then that forces everyone to move into the outside lane properly to go around them and back in, although some people have been known to undertake, which is also now illegal as well.
Oh, blimey.
So I think, personally, I think people driving behind you too close, I think that's a real major cause of stress, because there's always the fear they're going to go...
How do you stay calm behind the wheel, Simon? Because we do get angry. How do you manage? How do you keep it in check?
I think you've just got to be conscious that your own getting angry could actually lead to your loss of control or loss of focus on concentrating what you're doing, and could actually in turn cause an accident. I think it's all very well to be angry with someone else, but you must continue to focus on what you're doing, otherwise the situation might be exacerbated.
Simon, I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you. Simon Williams from the RAC. It's funny, isn't it? It is a strange phenomenon. When in the confines of our car, and I've done it, I've got properly angry and stuff. I'm much better than I used to be. I still get angry, but I'm much better than I used to be. Within the confines of our car, we think that we are invincible, and we kind of get this, even the wimpiest of people, I include myself in that, we get this kind of fury, don't we? We get literally furious.
And women are just as bad.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't let someone in once. She was trying to get out of a garage or something, and the roundabout was stacked up, and I was part of that stack. I didn't let her out, and she screamed at me. I thought it was quite funny, but the rage was intense.
Is it because we perceive that we've been wronged?
Yeah.
That's what it is, isn't it? The perception that we have been wronged or slighted in some way. But I would love... Well, I wouldn't love to see it. It'd be terrifying. But people doing this as they're walking down the street. You wouldn't see people, walking through... well, maybe you would in Luton. Bad example. You wouldn't see people walking down the high street in any town or village, and someone comes a little bit close to them, or gets a little bit close to their backside, or is on their mobile... Get out of the way! Come here! Give you some of that! Give you some of that! Throwing a dice at them and stuff. You wouldn't see that, would you? 08459 455 555. Always happy to have your stories of road rage. Can speak to... we can speak to a caller who actually served 15 years in prison for a road rage incident. Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
Tell us about what caused you to be so violent.
No, what are you talking about? I don't do road rage.
Oh, sorry, Matt. I thought you'd served time. Sorry, I thought you'd served time in prison for a road rage incident.
Well, I've served time on your show. That's better enough.
Well, and Matt, every time you phone up, it feels like we're doing a 10-year stretch. Yeah, that was quick, that one, wasn't it?
Very
it was
good,
an insult, but even you had to respect the insult.
Yes, I do.
What do you want, Matthew?
Second part of the pop quiz.
Excuse me?
Nick Lowe.
Right. You're referring to... We're getting lots of calls referring to the day before show. Yes. You asked... We were talking about Dave Edmunds, Rockpile, Nick Lowe. Yes.
Right. Second part.
Of what? Okay. What? Okay, right, yeah.
Who did Nick Lowe marry? And who was his mother-in-law and father-in-law?
Who did Nick Lowe marry?
Yes.
Why on earth would you want me to know that?
Because you know everything.
I do know everything. Yes, I do know everything, but I'm just confused. All right. Well, do you want to?
This was a pop quiz.
Give me the question. Give me the question. I'll answer part one, and Catherine will answer part B. Go on. Give me the question.
Who did Nick Lowe marry?
Carleen Carter.
Very good.
Yes.
So you do know.
Yeah, and ask the second part of the question to Catherine.
And who was his mother-in-law and father-in-law?
Now, this is a trick question, because I know what you want me to say. It's June Carter Cash and her first husband, Carl Smith.
It's not Johnny Cash, Matthew.
I didn't say that, did I?
Yeah.
But you sounded a little bit surprised. I heard you go,
Now, either you were dropping your guts, or...
No.
No? You weren't cutting the cheese?
No.
OK. Well, in that case, you thought it was going to be Johnny Cash. And you were wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, you were wrong, Matt. £5, please.
Every day's a school day, Matt.
Thanks for calling, Matthew. I love poning that guy. There is nothing better than poning an old Irish widower.
Do you know what
really
I love?
is.
Do you know what I love?
Go on.
Google.
You still there, Matt? No, he's gone good. He's been pwned, and he knows it. I did know that, actually.
No, you never.
Shh, mate. Texas.
Texts go like this.
How lucky that you have them open.
Do you want to go into partnership with me, says Maff in Hanslope? We could store all the eclipse glasses for people until the next eclipse at only £5.50 a year, or just £100 if they take up our pay now, die later offer.
I wasn't listening.
I know you weren't.
I'm posting the last known photo of Kelly Betts. I'm going to miss that girl.
Well, she'll be back in a minute with a coffee.
We'll have to take another last known photo of her then. Right. Any more?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know whether I can be bothered to be the soundtrack to your musings. Do you know, I've got a degree.
I'm listening. Go on.
I've driven all over Europe and America. You must be tired. British drivers are by far the worst, says Dave. They are territorial, spelt with terror, aggressive, irresponsible, unskillful and pathetic.
They're not the worst. Go to Pakistan or India and see those guys drive. There was a big billboard in Pakistan, massive billboard, that said, "Don't forget, use your brake to slow down." I actually said that. So come on, guys. We're bad. We're not that bad.
Dave has a question.
Hello, Dave.
Thinks we're Brian Cox or something.
Oh, I can do science.
Half right.
My mum loves
When
cocks.
it's daytime.
My mum loves cocks. Honestly,
everyone's mum does.
My mum cannot get enough of cocks. She goes crazy for cocks.
He's just very knowledgeable.
Well, it's the weird thing. She just keeps saying every time I go around, "Oh, I love cocks." Oh, I was watching Cox last night. I love Cox, and he's very pleasing.
He is. He's a funny-looking fella, I think.
It's very toothy, isn't it?
Yeah. And he's always smiling, even when he's talking, because he thinks he's telling you something that he's really pleased about, even though it's the destruction
That's
of the
a good
known
voice.
universe. I know, it's basically me smiling. You don't see it very much.
Now, lots of your mums will love cocks, and I'm very happy that I can bring pleasure to your mums.
Close up on the glint from his sunglasses.
And I used to be in D-Ream, and like I said, and I'll say it now, things can only get better.
Isn't this a massive canyon?
I do like stars.
Millions and millions and millions.
I like millions and millions, and it's just amazing the number of stars there are, and the number of mums that love me, Cox.
But essentially, we're all going to die.
We're all going to die, and that's amazing.
How does the sun...
Turns out it's really easy to do Brian Cox.
All right, well, I'm going to do him now, because Dave says, it's in a Brian Cox voice we're imagining, how does the sun know when it's daytime? That's a real question.
Sorry?
Yeah, he asked that question.
What plum?
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the A1M southbound, it's looking busy around junction 7 for Stevenage, and looking at the M25 anti-clockwise, it's looking very heavy between junction 20 for Kings Langley and 19 for Watford. In Bricketwood also, it's looking slow on the North Orbital Road around the M25 junction 21A roundabout, and on the train departure boards, the 7:40 service from Luton to Sevenoaks has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. Sorry, just taking the last known photo of Kelly Betts. My wife's going to look at my phone and go, well, I've got all these weird, slightly stalkery pictures of that hot girl that you work with. No reason, my love. 7:16, it's Friday the 20th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The number of road rage incidents reported to the police in the Three Counties has increased. Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a blow to the head. And millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30.
The Three Counties Radio.
As the general election gets closer, we want to know what you really think.
Sometimes it gets a bit boring, I think.
But we kind of feel like nothing changes.
Parliament really needs a good shake-up.
We're holding a number of debates across Beds, Herts and Bucks, focusing on the biggest issues.
The national health, I think that's a big concern at the moment.
Immigration, probably.
I think education more than anything.
If you'd like to take part and have your say, you can register your interest right now. Email 3cr@bbc.co.uk or call 08459 455 555.
I always do the vote because I think it's my right to vote.
Election 2015 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Now, you might have heard in the news a few weeks ago that the Communities Secretary, Eric Pickles, announced there will be a new 10-minute grace period of parking. So basically, if your parking ticket runs out, they won't be able to put a parking ticket on you for another 10 minutes. 10 minutes grace, you see? The initiative is due to roll out nationally in April, but in Welwyn Hatfield it's going to start on Monday. Neil Heron is a parking expert and a fair parking campaigner. Neil, I don't get this because you've got this. There'll be this 10 minutes grace, but people will just be 11 minutes late and still complaining, won't they?
Well, you can't then complain. At least it's a fair and common sense approach to start taking.
But you can't complain now, though, Neil, because you buy an hour, well, then you know you've got an hour. But now you know you've got an hour and 10 minutes, so you can't complain now, I don't think.
Well, you can't, but people do, and it's perceived as being very, very unfair. And is this the way to reinvigorate high streets by effectively having draconian enforcement regimes? And most tickets across the country are issued for slight overstays on paying display machines. And we've got technology out there now which allows you to pay for the time you use rather than having a fixed period of time. And this is how we could... like I said, reinvigorate the high streets, bring business back to the high streets.
So would you scrap the ticket system, the thing where you go and put your £2.50 in the machine and get a little sticky ticket? You'd get rid of that and just have the phone system?
Absolutely. And then you pay for the time that you use, and there are many systems out there, the technologies out there that will recognise your car when it comes in the car park, recognise it when it leaves, and then if you've registered, it just deducts the amount of money that you've used. That's a fair and practical way to do it.
The ones where you can phone up and then phone up again an hour later and cancel it, I always forget to phone up, and so I get I always park for 4 hours without realising it because I'm a plum. Neil, is this extra 10 minutes, in your opinion, going to have any impact at all?
No, I think it's a start of ending the war on the motorist, and many local authorities have used the motorist as a nice, easy cash cow over the years, and we should now move towards practical and fair ways of parking enforcement rather than some which are draconian and overly prescriptive.
Is it really going to reinvigorate the high street? Because the high street, there are loads of reasons that the high street is struggling. And yeah, maybe a few years ago, parking was one of them. But we've changed our behaviour so much with online shopping, and it's too late for the high street, isn't it?
No, I think we can bring the high street back to life, and there are many, many different ways to do it. But parking is central and core to people getting to the high street and then staying in the high street and then leaving the high street. So it's the beginning of one journey and the end of another, and then at the beginning of another journey into a retail environment. So it's getting people back into, like I say, reinvigorated high streets and bringing new shops, small businesses back into town centres.
I'm imagining, Neil, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you're against the whole people issuing parking fines anyway, are you?
Well, I come from a background where we expose lots of local authorities with incorrect lines, incorrect signs, incorrect traffic orders, and a regime where they were issuing tickets and there were targets there.
Yeah.
And that isn't the way. If you've got delivery companies delivering beer to pubs and food to restaurants, should you really be ticketing those every single time they come into town? And so I've come from a background where we've tried to change that, to change the attitude from local authorities towards the motorists in the high street. And it's starting to work. Things are changing now.
Neil, I appreciate your time. Neil Heron, parking expert, fair parking campaigner. Thank you. 08459 455 555. We can speak now to Jade, who's a former traffic warden in Milton Keynes. Morning, Jade.
Morning.
This grace period isn't a new thing, is it? Loads of different towns and councils and counties have these grace periods.
Yeah, when I worked in Milton Keynes, we had to give a 5 minutes grace period anyway.
Right.
So we'd have to, if we saw a vehicle which was expired, we'd have to wait 5 minutes before we could even issue a ticket. And then you'd have people coming back saying, "Oh, but I was only 1 minute over." But
you go, No,
Yeah.
you weren't, girlfriend.
That's it, and then it makes it hard because we've got to do as we're told by the council.
Yeah.
And if we're seen to walk past a contravention, and we get in trouble for it. So it makes it kind of hard.
Oh, I've never... Did you get any abuse when you were doing your job?
Yeah, all the time.
What? Give us some of the examples of what happened.
I got gripped up by a man.
You got what, sorry?
Gripped up. He sort of gripped me by the collar.
Gripped up? What, both hands on the
Yeah.
either side of the collar?
Yeah.
That's called gripping up, is it? Right.
I don't know. I call it.
Right, OK. Blimey.
We get threatened to be stabbed. It was
flipping heck.
I know, all over a parking ticket.
I never got the having a go at a traffic warden thing. I never got the hatred for a traffic warden either. Maybe because my nan used to be one in the 70s. But also, it's just a job. And I've had parking tickets, and it's annoying. And most of the time, it's been my fault for parking where I shouldn't have parked or overstaying my parking.
Well, that's it. And as well, if you're sort of mean to the traffic warden, they'll write it down in their notebook. So when you go to
Good.
Yeah, so when you go to appeal, if the council take your notebook and see that the driver's been rude or threatening, then the appeal really
gripped you up.
Yeah, the appeal doesn't really work.
That must be quite terrifying to have. I'm making light of it, but to have some fella grab you or someone threaten to stab you, that must be terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite young when I started. I think I was 18 or 19. So I was quite young, and we get picked on quite a lot, and I know that it's a difficult job, but people think that we sort of do it off our own back. But
why did you become a traffic warden, Jade? It's an unusual career move for a young woman.
At the time, I wanted to be a prison officer, and I thought that it would get me the experience of sort of the public and how to deal with them.
Yeah.
So I actually chose to be a traffic warden, and I really enjoyed it. But then I just changed job roles.
What do you do now, if you don't mind me asking?
I just work in the office.
Well, good for you. Do you get gripped up in the office?
No.
Good. Jade, finally, this 10 minutes extra grace, is it going to make any difference, do you think, to the way that traffic wardens are thought of and viewed by people?
No, I don't think it'll make a difference, because there's hundreds of people that are still late now. I don't think it'll make any difference, but it might make the public feel a bit better about it.
Jade, I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you very much. Oh, it sounds terrifying, doesn't it? Gripped up. It's a good phrase. I'm going to use that.
She looks really young as well, so tough guy.
Well, I mean, to do it to anyone, a lot of the abuse I think traffic wardens get, not in Jade's case, is I think kind of covert racism, because they're quite often, where I lived in London, a lot of them came from Nigerian backgrounds, and I think a lot of the abuse that I saw was kind of a form of racism. It was easier to shout at them because they had a different accent, I think, and were a different colour. But I never got the abuse to traffic wardens. It's annoying, and I've had a traffic warden write a ticket and I've done, oh no, man.
But the thing is, it's one of these things you have done to yourself.
Yeah,
it's not their fault.
It makes me angry, but I don't take the anger out on them. I did it. I shouldn't have parked there, or I parked there too long. And I've done that. Oh man, come on, please, come on. So nothing I can do. Oh man! But to then swear at them or grip them up, flipping heck.
I must admit though, once I got done outside here.
Sorry?
Slightly outside the car park.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
Who was that? Stephen Rhodes?
Luton Borough Council.
Oh, the Luton Borough Council.
The whole lot.
Right, yeah.
So I was just outside the car park, couldn't get in, and they gave me a ticket. In fact, they gave me about 3 in the space of 5 minutes.
Are they not allowed to do that, are they? Once there's a ticket on?
Well, exactly. So I thought, they've hit the button too many times. So I rang up the appeals department and said, listen, this is what's happened. I've had a ticket, I paid it, and I've had another, demand. Well, you know, if you don't pay it, well, no, I haven't paid it, but and they started giving me this sort of lecture, and I said, can you just check how many times that button was hit in the space of 5 minutes? Oh, yeah, really sorry.
Yeah.
It's because too many people are chancing it these days.
Speaking of chances, morning, Dennis.
Good morning.
I'll give you a ticket.
What for?
Loitering on the line.
No, I'll tell you what, this is one Friday less when I'm coming to get you.
Sorry?
This is one Friday less when I'm coming to get you.
Why is that then, Dennis?
Well, Friday the 29th of May, I'm coming to get you.
What on earth are you coming to get me for?
Because you've just said you'd taken a photograph of my young lady for the last time. Is she leaving, or are you being nasty to her?
No, I would just... you never know, Den. Whenever someone's murdered...
Yes.
You often, on television, they'll either have a really inappropriate school photo or... And this was the last known photo taken of Kelly Betts before she disappeared. So I'm just covering all bases, mate. I want to make sure I get that $1 from Sky.
Sorry, I took it the wrong way round. I thought you were getting rid of her.
Well, that's still up for negotiation. That's up for discussion, Dennis.
Don't you dare.
I thought you were talking about coming and claiming your winnings, Dennis.
Yes, I'll tell you what. If you want to get rid of Kelly, give it to me for my birthday present.
Yeah, that's what we do in 2015, Dennis. We give young women to dirty old men as birthday presents.
Very clean young man.
Thank you very much indeed, Dennis. There, that's an uncomfortable conversation, isn't it? You know, I saw someone eating a bowl of soup whilst driving the other day.
Yeah, it seems they're not the only one.
Traffic police turned up the eat on bad driving by pulling over a motorist eating spaghetti hoops.
I mean, they are delicious.
A second driver was nabbed cutting up fruit while still behind the wheel.
No, I'm not.
I like spaghetti hoops, not cold, though. Astonished officers got a clear view of dodgy driving by sitting high up in a Scania HGV cab. Oh, yeah, they do this, don't they? They sit up so they can look down on drivers. Motorbikes then intercepted officers. Oh, this is local.
Oh, yeah.
A total of 230 motorists were stopped during a 5-day operation on busy main roads by Hampshire and Thames Valley Police. Of these, 197 were prosecuted.
All right, Tony, thank you. Bye.
Kelly, do you want to speak a little bit louder?
She can't hear you. She's not got
Okay,
her
good. I'm
phone.
glad.
Say that again.
No, it's fine.
Can I tell you something?
You virtually did.
We heard it all. It's very, very loud.
Tony says the way Iain speaks to you sometimes is really arrogant. I'd never speak to my girlfriend like that.
Tony's got a girlfriend.
Go and clean my pants, Kelly, now.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the motorways, it's looking a bit busy on the A1M southbound around junction 7 for Stevenage, and the M25 anti-clockwise is slow from junction 20 for Kings Langley to 19 for Watford. Elsewhere, though, it's looking really quiet on the speed sensors. In Little Telfont on White Lion Road, there's roadworks at Loudhams Road, which could cause some delays later on. And in Headlow on Hitchin Road, there's temporary traffic lights because of a burst water main at Riley Close, but that's not causing any delays at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hey, Sammy.
Yes.
Are you excited about the eclipse?
I don't know. I think I'm just not going to see it. There's no windows in here.
Yeah, that's my kind of lady. It's boring, isn't it?
Well, I mean...
It's
I
boring, Sammy
Bruff. It's just the moon going in front of the sun.
Yes, Sammy Bruff, she knows what she's talking about.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7:30. I'm Simon Oxley. The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties has increased. Thames Valley showed the biggest rise. Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a blow to the head. And millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30, although for many the view will be obscured by cloudy skies.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Everton are out of the Europa League after a 5-2 defeat away to Dynamo Kiev saw them exit 6-4 on aggregate. It means England has failed to provide a quarter-finalist in any European competition for the first time since 1993. In tomorrow's football, Championship leaders Watford host Ipswich, having added defender Matthew Connolly to their squad on loan from Cardiff. The Hornets will again be without Alman Abdi, but coach Dean Austin is hopeful he'll be back for the Easter fixtures.
We have had to deal with Alman being injured this year. And the team's coped. We have a strong squad. That's why you have a squad. And the team's coped without him, and it'll cope without him again now.
In League One, Milton Keynes Dons are at home to Notts County with a fitness doubt over Dean Bowditch. Here's manager Carl Robinson.
We don't know if he'll be 100% ready, so that then puts him into an area where you could get injured again and you're missing for 3-4 games, or are you best missing for one game and you know he's 100% ready for the forthcoming game. So I think it's important that we just do what's right for the football club and for the player.
In League 2, Luton and Wickham don't play until Tuesday's meeting at Kenilworth Road, but tomorrow Stevenage host Dagenham. Victory would lift the borough above Luton in the playoff places. Bedford Town chairman David Howell says the club is up for sale, with the current board standing down at the end of the season. He made the announcement at a public meeting at the club last night. Bedford Rugby Club are in Championship action this evening as they host Cornish Pirates with a 7:45 kick-off at Goldington Road. The Blues have already beaten the Pirates twice this season. There's online commentary via the BBC Sport website. And hosts Australia are playing Pakistan in the third Cricket World Cup quarter-final. Pakistan were all out for 213. The Australian reply is just getting underway. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 8.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road is where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow, I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we've paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's the eclipse. It's for kids, really, isn't it, the eclipse?
Well, but then we're told not to let them look at it.
Well, it's for kids. I mean, my boys are probably excited about it. I mean, I don't really know. I haven't talked to them about this kind of stuff. The eclipse is happening today. It's going to start around 8:30, peaking at around 9:35. I'm not that bothered by it. But the show's official astronomer, Dr. Mark Galloway, astronomer at the University of Hertfordshire's Bay Fordbury Observatory, is on the line. Are you excited by it, Mark?
Oh, well, I'm always excited by an eclipse or any astronomical phenomenon.
What? It's easy for you to say. Why are you excited by it? What's so special about it?
It's a very rare astronomical event. Eclipses, total eclipses of the sun like this only happen about twice a year on the Earth. Very, very rare in any one place. So, for example, the last total eclipse in the UK was in 1999. And there's not going to be another total eclipse until 2090.
Oh. blimey. Is there anything that we know everything we need to know now, don't we, about the sun and the moon? Is there anything that we can learn from this?
Well, I mean, certainly we don't know everything about the sun and the moon, and there's loads of things we need to learn about the sun. It's incredibly complex, and it's incredibly important to our environment and how the Earth works, especially how all the biological systems interface, because all of those use the sun to produce to get their energy. So eclipses give us an opportunity to look at parts of the sun which we wouldn't normally look at. Now, they're not so as important as they were, say, 100 years ago, but they're still quite important.
Why is the sun's corona so hot?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of arguments about why that is. So the surface of the sun is about 5,500 degrees, but the corona is several million.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a number of quite complicated arguments about why it is. Mostly because there isn't actually much material there, and the sun's pumping a lot of energy into that part of space, so it basically heats it and it can't cool down fast enough. That's probably the best explanation that's easy to explain. But,
we're not going to see anything today, are we, Mark? It's going to be too cloudy. The blooming Russian toxic cloud coming over.
Yeah, I'm currently firing our LiDAR, which is basically radar, and it uses a laser, and we use that to study the atmosphere. And it can't even get through the clouds. We can't see anything over 250 metres. It's pretty thick.
You've got a laser radar?
Yes.
Later.
That's suddenly I'm interested again, Mark. That sounds so cool.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a big atmospheric physics department that do a lot of research in this area. We've also got a radio telescope that can look through the clouds, so that's looking at the sun at the moment.
But you can't look... OK, how did you look at that without burning your retinas?
Oh, well, you see, the radio telescope obviously works in radio waves, so that's not a problem.
Obviously. Yeah, obviously. Mark, listen, it's always good talking to you. Can me and Kath come down one day?
Of course you can. You're always welcome.
In fact, do you know what? We will sort that out, because he's great. He makes it exciting and passionate, and he doesn't mind answering silly questions from a dope like me.
Brian Cox made me get a telescope last year.
What do you mean he made... No, Catherine, you've got to buy a telescope, otherwise I'm going to kill you.
He was talking about it on the telly, and
if you want to see your children again, Catherine, I suggest you buy one of the Brian Cox branded telescopes.
No, it wasn't a Brian Cox one. I should have gone for one of his, because the one I bought...
You would love to look through a Cox late at night, wouldn't you?
Chance to be a fine thing. I got a National Geographic one.
There you are.
They know about looking at stuff. No, I could see the moon with my eyes, but I'm looking down this tube, I couldn't see it. I spent about half an hour twiddling with this thing before thinking, do you know what? It's been under the bed ever since.
We bought a telescope for one of the boys for Christmas, and most of them are rubbish. Most of the ones you can get are rubbish.
Couldn't work it
out. You don't need to get a really expensive one for the kids. I think ours was only about 40 quid in the end.
Yeah.
But we researched it, and it was a really good one. But it's not telescope shape. It's like aubergine shaped. Is that an aubergine?
If you like, a gourd.
Yeah. It was a gourd aubergine. And you look through it like that. Penny's on the line. Good morning, Penny.
Good morning.
Do you know why the sun's corona is so hot?
No.
You don't, but you know that question I asked was a wicked question.
He knows. We know that. We don't know what the answer was, but he knows.
It was a good question.
Yeah.
I actually fist pumped Catherine when I asked that question, because I knew it was a good one. Every now and then, Penny.
Yeah.
I play the part of the dummy on the show
really well.
I play it very, very well, but
Very
actually,
convincing.
it's okay. But actually, I'm a very, very clever man.
Oh well.
Ask me anything, Penny. Go on, I'll know the answer. Go on.
The square root is 64.
Yep, I know that. Ask me something else.
What's the answer?
Oh, Penny, I could tell you, but then you would lose a little bit of the knowledge that you could gain yourself by finding it out yourself, Penny. And that's.
I know the answer.
Well, why don't you tell me? I'll tell you if you're right.
But I'm waiting for you to tell me.
I know the answer. You
So
tell
do
me.
I.
Well, you tell me the answer, and I'll tell you if you're right.
Why don't you tell me the answer and I'll tell you if you're right?
Because I don't believe that. I want you to show me that you know the answer.
But I do know the answer.
Well, then why don't you tell me?
Because I was waiting for you to tell me.
The reason that you're not telling me, Penny, I'm going to suggest, is because you don't know the answer.
But I do.
Well, tell me then. If you know it, Penny, tell me the answer. Ah, you see? You see? You don't know, do you?
I do.
Well, then tell me. And I'll tell you. I'll tell you if you're right. Let's say it at exactly the same time.
Okay.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Go on then. I'm not falling for that. Right, ready, steady.
One.
It's neither. It's none of those.
Two.
It's not that.
Three.
Ready, steady, go. It's. You don't know it, Penny. You don't know it, mate.
I do know it.
Well, then
but
tell
you're
me
not saying
it.
anything.
Penny, tell me it then. You're not saying anything. I'm not saying anything, and you're not saying anything.
Because you're not saying anything.
Well, you say it first, and then I'll say it immediately after. Ready? You go first, and I'll say it after. Ready, steady, go.
No, you say it first.
Oh.
Nah, but
You say it first.
Right,
Can someone say it?
Go on, Penny. You say it first.
8.
Sorry?
8.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
How sure are you?
Very sure.
Are you completely sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you really, really sure about it?
Yes.
You sure you're sure?
Are you typing it on the calculator now?
No, mate, I'm not. But do you know what, Penny? I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you 5 points for that. Well done. You're right. You see.
I know I was right.
I know you know you're right, and I know you're right, and I knew you were right, and I knew that was the answer before you told me. So, what have you learnt from that?
Nothing.
Well, then I'm afraid that's not
not the
worked out.
attitude, is
That's
it?
not the attitude to have, Penny. What you've learnt there is A, respect your elders, B, respect me, and C, you can get so much more from your life if you put a bit of effort into it. And I just don't think you've got the right attitude. I've got a feeling, Penny, you could be a bit of a failure in life. And I say that with respect to love.
Wow.
And I say that
she's 14.
I know exactly. She's got to learn young. And I say that, Penny, because you've still got time to turn it around. Still got time to turn it around. I just don't know if you've got the right attitude, that's all. Penny, what would you like to say? Any more questions?
Yeah.
Go on.
Why do you play that song every time after the travel news?
Well, I know the answer. Do you?
No, that's what I'm asking you.
It's a good song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's because it's 2 minutes 34 seconds where I don't have to do anything. I'm being lazy. Genuinely, I'm being...
That's actually the answer, Penny.
Genuinely, I'm being a bit lazy and I just fancy having a breather halfway through the show.
He's giving us all a rest. I mean, really, we should be grateful for some thinking time.
A bit of respect, Catherine. She's 14 years old. Talk to her like a young woman.
I am.
Don't talk down to her.
I'm not.
I'm so sorry, Penny.
He's not.
Listen, Penny, listen, you can turn it around. If you don't want to end up like Catherine, start putting in the work now, OK?
OK.
Penny, square root of 64 is...
8.
Well done, well done. Thank you very much indeed. She'll learn from that whole exchange.
She'll certainly learn something.
And she has got a real chance to make the success out of her life. And Penny, I really do wish you the very best luck. Actually, if you want a mentor, I'll do it.
I think it's probably best you don't.
£50 an hour,
No.
and I will happily tell you...
But she's going to be a massive failure and she should give up now.
No, £50 an hour, I'll be a bit more positive. I'll tell her how she can make money. Become a mentor. She needs to charge £100 an hour.
Maths.
Yeah, see, it's like one of those...
Pyramid schemes.
Pyramid schemes, great schemes. You don't get those anymore, do you?
You do. Unfortunately.
Sign me up for one. I want to make some easy money. Sign me up for a pyramid scheme, guys. Seriously.
Sir Paul McCartney has agreed to be on hand to induct his old bandmate Ringo Starr.
Ringo Starr?
Ringo Starr.
The Japanese fella.
Ginkgo biloba. Into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Do you know what Ringo means in Japanese?
Is it something filthy?
No, apple.
Oh, yes, it does.
You go and buy a dozen Ringos. It's true. It means apple.
That might be where the Portuguese merengue comes from. Yeah, I think it is.
Not interested in that.
Because that's where their obrigado comes from. Obrigado.
Again, I'm not that interested
That's a
in
fact.
it.
You can have that and take it to the bank.
I'm not going to. You can't bank
the word
facts.
Bank. The word bank.
Be so careful how you say that.
Anyway, how well did the two boys get on? Ringo's 74. He's 74.
I know, it's brilliant. I love Ringo.
Observed 4 years ago, we're as close as we want to be. We're the only two remaining Beatles, although he likes to think he's the only one. All you need is love.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Mill Hill on the A41 Edgware Way, there's a lane blocked by an accident between Selvage Lane and the Apex Corner. And in North Watford, it's looking quite slow on the speed sensors on the North Western Avenue around the Dome roundabout. On the North Orbital Road around the M25 junction 21A roundabout, it's looking busy there on the cams at the moment. And the M25 anti-clockwise still looking slow around junction 17 for Maple Cross. In Leighton Buzzard on the A4146 westbound, that's looking very heavy around the Leadburn roundabout to the A418 the Wing roundabout. And And on the trains, the 8:07 service from Luton to Bedford is cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much. 7:46, Friday the 20th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the Three Counties has increased. Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a head injury, and Sun clips sad cases. Let's get the weather!
Beds, Hearts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
I bet you're really pleased, Ian, that it's cloudy, isn't it?
Yep.
Disappointing to the rest of us. Anyway, yes, it is cloudy. The cloud will persist for much of the rest of the morning. If you want to stand a chance of seeing anything, go a little bit further north and west. Of course, there is hope that the sun will start to burn back some of that cloud, but I think all in all, it's a cloudy picture for the eclipse. It will peak at 9:30. You may notice it go dark, the temperature dropping just a little and the winds going lighter, a bit like if a big thunderstorm was approaching. So still something to experience. Now, through the morning, the cloud will burn back. It will turn brighter just at the wrong time, and there'll be lots of sunshine through the afternoon. In the best of the sunshine, temperatures will rise nicely to 12 or 13 degrees. It will stay dry overnight tonight. Then we'll get a few outbreaks of just light rain and drizzle. I think a bit of cloud. Temperatures dropping to around 5 or 6 degrees. The weekend's going to feel cooler. There'll be a northerly breeze. We may just get a few spits and spots of drizzle early tomorrow morning. That will clear to leave us with a day of clouds, some sunny spells. The sunshine will be a bit brighter on Sunday and the winds will be lighter. Really nice day. That's the forecast.
Nick Coffer on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Every day it's not just about great music and great conversation.
I'll get a bit technical here.
It's about local experts helping you across Beds, Hearts and Bucks.
So what we're talking about then is capital gains tax potentially on the portion of the property that they directly own.
On finance, relationships.
But look at the way that you have contributed to this situation.
Health.
When you have a cough, which can seem quite innocuous in this way, but just irritating, asthma is something that we would think of.
Your pets.
Particularly if your dog is a border collie cross, it will be epilepsy.
And even law.
You still cannot say, Judge, you have to stick to this. But the judge's approach now is going to be, well, why shouldn't we?
Local advice for local people.
Nick Coffer, weekdays from 12 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Speaking about road rage, Paul has emailed him. Ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. I've been trying to keep my road rage in check lately because it does get out of hand. I blame women, old people, foreign drivers and boy racers. None of them can drive. Listening to your show does improve my mood, though. Well, I'm glad that at least between 6 and 9, the roads are a little bit safer around Stevenage.
Although I have to say that Justin Dealey would qualify as a boy racer, and Kelly and I would both qualify as women, I think.
And I'm foreign. Now, I don't get this story in The Sun. I'm going to read you a story. I want to tell you a story. What is that an impression of? I want to tell you a story.
Bowie?
Huh?
Bowie?
No. Well, the Bowie of his day, yeah. I want to tell you a story. Who's that?
I know who it's supposed to be.
Well, then tell the young lady there. Forgotten her name.
Max Bygraves.
I want to tell you a story.
But it's more like a sort of scary puppet, the way you're doing it.
He does the hand. I want to tell you a story. He was the David Bowie of his day, very innovative.
Yeah.
I'm a pink toothbrush,
Oh, I
you're
like
a
that
blue
song.
toothbrush, I'm gonna give me a bum. Anyway, so I want to tell you this story. This doesn't make any sense to me, so if you can explain it to me, I'd be really, really grateful.
Okay.
Go.
Barely departed.
Oh, yeah, I read that.
Rudo Kubica lit a candle at a dead pal's funeral, then saw him in a pub in Prague, the Czech Republic.
Very strong beer in Prague. So
Absinthe.
Yeah.
But, let's read it again. Barely departed. Rudo Kubica lit a candle at a dead pal's funeral, then saw him in a pub in Prague, Czech Republic. Now, did he actually see him and the guy wasn't dead?
Yeah.
Or did he have an hallucination? Or was it a ghost? What is going on in that story, and why the hell...
Read the first bit again.
Well, the first bit is the story.
Barely departed. Rudo Kubica lit a candle at a dead pal's funeral.
Right. They didn't say that that's the pal that he... I don't get it.
Yeah, and
then saw him in a pub in Prague, the Czech Republic. I just don't understand it.
I don't.
Can we get this Rudo Kubica on the line? Can we get Justin to do a funny, silly voice and find out exactly what's going on? Boyley.
The Clangers are back with their pink woolly noses and whistling speech. The Clangers were among the most memorable children's TV characters of the 1970s.
Yeah, memorable for being rubbish.
Woohoo!
Who was it? Postgate, Oliver Postgate.
Yes, but I like that voice that he did.
Terrible.
His voice.
His programmes are terrible.
Fans will be relieved to see they've not changed much as they return to our screens. Kids won't like it.
They'll be computer generated like Postman Pat is now.
They'll have helicopters and that. Last night, the BBC gave viewers the first glimpse of the Clangers, which have been reinvented for a £5 million series narrated by... Oh, it's going to be brilliant. Michael Palin.
Well, you say that, OK.
Oh, Michael Palin.
So there's the Clangers is coming back. And now Oscar winner Jim Broadbent is being lined up for the Teletubbies reboot. They're rebooting the Teletubbies. Now, Teletubbies, of course, was one of the first kid shows that didn't come from a place of love and creativity. It was mathematically worked out to appeal to children. That's why all the films got shown twice. There's the colours, it was all scientifically worked out to attract children's brains. That's why if you put a kid in front of Teletubbies and all of those programmes that are made by that same company, In the Night Garden, all of that, the kid will go absolutely silent.
Mesmeric.
They will be... Honestly, it's a weird phenomenon because it's scientifically calculated to catch the kid's attention. They will sit down, kids of a certain age will sit there and they will be completely zoned out by it. The colours, the sounds, the movements, the repetition, everything.
The baby faces.
The baby faces. And so the Clangers and Teletubbies are two of the worst children's television programmes of all time. Don't worry, we're not doing it as a phone-in. But they're both just stinkers, I think. Hate them.
To me, it suggests, when we drag these things back from history, it suggests that there are no more ideas. Come on, guys. Rack your brains.
Well, someone who did rack their brains, and I... Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, we just spoke about... let me just read this story again, because I think we've actually... excellent work from Kelly Betts. Barely departed. Rudo Kubica lit a candle at a dead pal's funeral, then saw him in a pub in Prague, the Czech Republic. We've got Rudo Kubica on the line. Good morning, Mr. Kubica.
Good morning, sir.
So
my name is Rudo Kubica.
OK, well, thank you for joining us at such short notice, Rudo. I'm really sorry for your friend's... the loss of your friend. Did you lose your friend? I'm confused as to whether you actually saw... He wasn't dead and he was in the boozer, or you saw a ghost. What happened?
Well, let me explain briefly. First of all, I've lost a very big candle because I lit that candle for my friend.
What was your friend's name, Rudo?
Bubbler.
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 I called him... It's not his real name. I called him Bubbler.
OK.
Traditional Czechoslovakian name, Czech name.
Czech name, yes.
I bought a big candle to light this match.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, I don't think that's in your report.
No, it's not in the report.
Good. I walk into a local pub.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The Moon and Stars.
Oh.
Popular name in Czech.
How do you say that in Czech?
The Moon and Stars.
Oh.
OK, yep, thank you.
Yes, it's pretty much the same. And Bubla is at the bar, and then I noticed Bubla move to the Deal or No Deal machine, and it's Bubla.
So he's having your friend who you've just lit a candle for 2 days before.
Yes.
He's suddenly playing Deal or No Deal in the pub.
And he win £5
Wow.
or £5 groat, and he not pay me for candle.
Did you speak to him? I mean, that must have been quite powerful.
I was upset, surprised, agitated, a little aroused, and I asked him for identification, and he ignored me.
He ignored you?
Gosh,
that's cold.
Well, that hurt to what you say, bone.
Yes.
Hurt to your bone.
Well, Rudo, I'm sorry for... I'm glad you've managed to clear up the rather vague story in The Sun. What are you doing for the rest of the day, Rudo? You going to go and see the eclipse?
No, I have no interest in the moon.
It's The Sun.
Whatever.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, I'm glad we managed to clear that up. That's excellent. Talking about having ideas and just pushing things a little bit further is what we all need to do.
Yeah.
Nurse got steamy in car on zebra crossing. When nurse Faye Gregson decided to share an intimate moment with her boyfriend, privacy wasn't exactly upmost in her mind. Not only did her romantic liaison take place in the front seat of her Audi, she was also parked in the middle of a zebra crossing. And to top it all off, she left her hazard lights flashing. Well, that's safety first.
I've got something that can top that all off.
Yeah,
She's
go on.
also over the limit.
The 26-year-old, who was nearly twice the drink drive
Here we
limit,
go.
was arrested after police caught her. Oh, she was straddling her boyfriend in the passenger seat. Well, let's hope that safety was an issue. Yesterday, she was fined £300 and begged a judge not to take her licence, saying, "I'm really sorry, it won't happen again." Deary me. The police officers... oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Oh, dear. She got to keep her licence. Well, there's hope for me yet. On her Facebook profile, she lists 50 Shades of Grey as her favourite book, alongside What I Wish I Knew About Nursing. Well, dear. Well.
Listen, she made a few wrong choices there, but
yes,
at least she put her hazards on.
Well, at least she hoped there was something on the end of it as well. Safety first, Kelly Betts.
Yes, very important.
Very important. What you got in the papes?
As if being overweight wasn't a tough enough problem, people apparently think that being fat makes you smell.
Oh.
A study found that they imagined a bad odour when showed pictures of overweight men and women. Images of the people did not have the same of thin people did not have the same effect on the senses. That's crazy. These researchers, who apparently have found a cure for cancer, oh no, they haven't, said they may have been subconsciously classing the overweight as disgusting and warned prejudice against the obese may be greater than thought. No. The team from the University of California asked people to smell a blob of lotion.
A blob? Here, smell. I asked you to do that the other day, Kelly, and you reported me to the boss.
And rate the scent as they were shown photos of those of different sizes. The lotions were different colours, but actually fragrance-free. Volunteers believed they could smell something, and the lotions paired with pictures of fat people were rated as less pleasant. How rude.
Speaking of rude, 25 years ago, what movie was released? I'll give you a clue. Da 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 da, pretty woman, walking down the street, a pretty woman, the kind I'd like to meet. It's Pretty Woman.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, it's good. She's a prostitute, and she loves her job because all prostitutes do. He's a rich multimillionaire. They go and buy some boots, they have it away, they fall in love. She stops being a prostitute.
But she was only a prostitute with him, so that's not really being a prostitute, is it? If he's just bought the one person.
And I'd be a prostitute for Richard Gere.
That sounds a bit 50 Shades.
Uh-oh. We just upset Niles' invisible children again.
Niles. 08459 455 555 is the phone number. If you want to send us a text, you're more than welcome to 81333. Start your text 3CR, or you can send me an email, ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. Let's get the trav.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Mill Hill on the A41 Edgware Way, there's been an accident at the Apex corner, which is blocking a lane. In Kings Langley on the A41, that's slow southbound, just before the M25 junction 20 at Kings Langley. And it's also looking busy on the North Orbital Road at the M25 junction 21A roundabout. On the M25 itself, it's looking busy around junction 17 for Maple Cross, but no reports of any delays anywhere else. And the A1M northbound's looking slow between junction 6 for Welling Garden City. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much, Sammy. So, are you going to go and have a look, or at least attempt to have a look, at the solar eclipse? I know lots of schools, the young people are going to be standing outside. Is your boss letting you have a little bit of time off work? Are you going to go and stand on the roof? And has anybody actually bothered to buy those protective goggles/glasses? Normal sunglasses won't work. My suggestion is you just squint and put your hand over the top of your eyes. Surely that would work, wouldn't it? No, it turns out. 08459 455 555. Or like me, do you think it's a load of old tosh? And your stories of road rage, please. We'll speak after the news with Simon Oxley.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8 o'clock. The headlines: increase in road rage, Bucks Village murder victim died from head injury, and cloudy skies set to thwart eclipse watchers.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties has increased. Thames Valley showed the biggest rise, with 223 incidents reported. There was also an increase in Bedfordshire, whilst Hertfordshire showed a slight decrease. Simon Williams is from the RAC.
62% of people think that road rage has got worse in the last 5 years. And also, from the same research, so is the courtesy of other drivers. So I think that's part of the issue.
Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a head injury. 31-year-old Adam Fanelli from Dunstable was found at the Nash Park Travellers site in Nash on Tuesday morning. Thames Valley Police are repeating their appeal for information about the killing. A cross-party group of MPs says the media shouldn't be allowed to name people arrested for sexual offences until they're charged. The Home Affairs Committee says the identities of suspects shouldn't be revealed earlier unless there are exceptional circumstances. The committee is chaired by the Labour MP Keith Vaz.
We believe that there should be parity between those who make complaints and those who are suspects until someone is charged. As soon as someone is charged, then we believe the anonymity should end. But we think that in terms of fairness and the way in which our criminal justice system, this is the right thing to do.
A leading UKIP politician has been suspended and removed as a general election candidate because of what the party said were allegations of a serious financial nature. Janice Atkinson, who's an MEP for South East England, had been due to fight the seat of Folkestone and Hythe. People parking in Welwyn Hatfield will have an extra 10 minutes grace period to park from Monday. It's part of government plans to introduce more lenient parking rules, which will take effect nationwide from April. Millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30. It will be a partial eclipse in the UK, although for many the view will be obscured by cloudy skies. Television presenter Professor Brian Cox says total eclipses are rare.
The last one was in 1999 in the UK, and the next one will be in 2090. So it's 100 years between total solar eclipses. The eclipse on Friday isn't total from the UK, but it's pretty large. It's between something like 85 and 95, a bit more, % of the sun is going to be covered by the moon.
In sport, Kevin Peterson says he wants a face-to-face meeting with New England cricket chief Colin Graves as he steps up his bid for a comeback in this summer's Ashes. The weather dry but cloudy this morning, sunny periods this afternoon, but with a cool breeze, a maximum temperature 13 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Got it. Got it. What will you be doing instead of looking at the sun this morning? There we go. That's it. That's what we should have been doing all morning. What will you be doing between 9:30 and 10:30 instead of looking at the sun? Forget those losers that are going to be standing out on the roof of their homes and workplaces. What will you be doing? Maybe you'll be at work. Hey, oh, man alive. This is what I want. This is what I want. I want to know what you'll be doing instead of looking at the sun. I really want to know if you're going to be underground while the sun is being eclipsed. Oh, can we find somebody who will be underground between 9:30 and 10:30? It's a long shot. I don't think the coal mines of Milton Keynes are still going. The Jan Butty mines of Bedford, though, they're alive and well. What will you be doing instead of looking at the sun? And can we find somebody who's going to be underground between 9:30 and 10:30? 08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
There we go. There we go. We found it at last. We found it at last. Any texts?
Yeah, loads.
Go on, what you got?
Pete in Milton Keynes. I was a parking attendant for over 20 years.
Oh.
Every day I got abuse. Once I was deliberately run over by a car I'd issued to.
We heard a young woman was gripped.
Gripped
Some
up?
big fella gripped her up, grabbed her collars, like old school style. It's incredible. I don't understand why you argue with traffic wardens. You only get tickets. Generally, I've had a couple of tickets where actually I didn't deserve it and I appealed and I won. But generally because you've parked somewhere you're not supposed to park or you've stayed there too long. They're doing their job.
Sometimes I have a cocky attitude. But then you're in the wrong, so let them be cocky.
I've never come across one with a cocky attitude. I've never come across one. Any other texts?
Yeah, loads.
Just give us 3 more and then we'll crack on.
Just 3. Stop ruining Eclipse Day for me. I can't turn the radio off because it's too funny. And yeah, everyone can do an impersonation of Cox, apart from you two. Eclipse Day spoilers. Rubbish, says
Right,
Gavin
first
in
of all,
Bedford.
we're not ruining Eclipse Day for you. You're ruining it by being interested in it, you loser.
And the cloud will.
Yeah, and secondly, our impressions of Cox are great.
They're flipping brilliant. They're amazing.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Poor driving. If we're constantly being told that the lady and older drivers are the best, why am I put in danger on the road so many times by elderly women? I'm confused, says Phil.
One more.
One more. Why? Lots of exclamation marks from Damon. BBC News just played a clip of different group of people in some very cloudy and cold corner of Scotland from Canada, Texas and Scandinavia. One woman interviewed actually said the phrase "in alignment with the heavens" 3 times in a 10-second interview. Road rage, eclipse raid, the mugs. PS, happy Friday from Damon.
Thank you, Damon. Eclipse rage. Where will you be instead of looking at the sun this morning? And can we find anybody in the last 55 minutes of the show who will actually be underground, be it as a tube driver, maybe you'll be in a cellar, perhaps you work in a nuclear bunker? 08459 455 555. You heard us mentioning road rage there. Why? Well, it's up in the 3 counties. It seems that drivers are angriest in the Thames Valley, with police called in to investigate 223 incidents last year. There's also been a rise in rage in Bedfordshire, while Hertfordshire has calmed down ever so slightly on the year before. Well, our reporter Justin Dealey has been out hearing your road rage stories.
Now, Dan, a lot of people think that road rage is in the past. Tell us what you witnessed just 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago in Letchworth, I was coming down a 30-mile-an-hour stretch. Four-wheel drive in front of me was speeding. He overtook a Corsa. Now, the Corsa didn't want this, and he chased the four-wheel drive up the hill. And his arm was out the window, beckoning him to pull over. By the time I got there, both of them had pulled over, and I don't know what was happening, but it's still there.
Unbelievable. What about yourself? Again, you can't break the speed limit, so I'm sure that you've permanently got people hooting you, making gestures at you. You still experiencing that?
Yeah, still experiencing it. People getting up your behind and flashing the lights at you because you've got to do the speed limit. So yeah, it's still out there.
Are things getting worse, would you say?
I wouldn't say worse, it's just not getting any better.
So tell us what you saw. Again, a recent story. Tell us what you saw on the roads.
There was a taxi driver behind another driver that was driving up the road. But I think there was a bit of a traffic. The road was quite tight, but the other driver was a little bit slow. But the taxi driver was a bit impatient, so he kept beeping at the car, and after a while he couldn't pass. He pulled out on the side and he went in his boot, got a knuckle duster, and he went on the guy's window and started banging the window. So the guy had to drive off.
So that the guy managed to get away even though it was a tight road?
Yeah.
My goodness me. And this knuckle duster, did it have spikes on it as well?
Yes. On all 4 rings.
Wow. Goodness me. Seeing that, we often only see those things on television programmes. You saw that right in front of you. It must have been horrendous to watch that.
It was, but things happened so quick.
Yeah.
I think I was on my way to church as well, so it was a busy Sunday.
Incredible. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A very specific description of the knuckle dusters involved. I've had people beckoning me over for a fight on the motorway. Yeah, I'm really going to pull onto the hard shoulder and get into a fight with someone. Dr. Mark Sulman is an expert in driver behaviour from Cranfield University. Mark, why do we do things in cars that we would never do out of them?
Well, one of the reasons is that we're in a nice enclosed and protective environment, so we feel more free to express our emotions in ways which we would otherwise be socially constrained against doing. So in a car, if somebody does something wrong and it annoys you, you quite often could swear or give them a rude gesture, whereas on the pavement you would never even think of doing that.
Oh, on the pavement, if you got bumped into, you'd be the one apologising most times.
And the other main reason is the fact that we're isolated from the normal social cues. So if you bump into somebody on the pavement, you can immediately see that they didn't mean to do it. And everyone apologises, don't they, especially in England. But in a car, you can't really see the intention, and one of the biases in attributing human behaviour is you believe that behaviour is targeted towards you and that they intentionally did it. A lot of the time, people make mistakes when they're driving, and, they didn't cut you off to try and annoy you. They did it because of their own, reasons. They may be in a hurry to get to Heathrow, or they may have been stuck in a traffic jam for 3 hours, and you just don't really know what they're thinking about.
Are there certain types of people who are more prone to exhibiting road rage?
Yes, there are. The cause of driving anger or road rage is a personality characteristic called trait anger, and everyone has trait anger to some degree, but people who are higher in trait anger get angered by more situations, and they get angered quicker and experience higher levels of anger than somebody who's low in trait anger.
And how do British people compare to the rest of the world, Mark? I kind of make up that we're particularly, particularly bad at this.
No, not actually. We, in terms of British people, if you compare British to countries like America and New Zealand and Spain and Malaysia and Ukraine, or even France actually, you'll see that actually the UK's one of the lowest.
See, I can imagine them in France because they all drive like lunatics. I can imagine it in America because they've all got guns. You just mentioned New Zealand. I would have thought New Zealand would have been really laid back.
It is quite laid back, but there's a difference between the emotion of anger and how you express that anger. And New Zealanders, compared to British people, New Zealanders report slightly higher level of anger. Well, it's not significantly different, but it just looks a little bit higher. But in terms of how they express their anger, New Zealanders are much less likely to express their anger in an aggressive manner than than people do here.
And Mark, and I've had this several times, I don't know what this says about my driving, but I've had people kind of beckoning me over for a fight and giving me the finger and all kinds of stuff. Is the best thing to simply wave at them and blow them a kiss?
Yeah, well, it depends. Maybe they were actually complaining about something you said on the radio.
Yeah, but yes, there are lots of critics out there. That could be it.
I'm sure. But no, it's the best thing to do is just to concentrate on your driving and just realise that, there's idiots out there, and also, people may have experienced a whole pile of different stressful situations. So, occasionally, I don't know, you probably get annoyed yourself occasionally, don't you?
But Mark, what on earth are you suggesting? Yeah, I do, and I used to suffer from this terribly. I'm a lot better now. I'm still not brilliant, but yeah, I do find myself getting very wound up in the car at some perceived offence that I make up someone's done to me specifically.
Yeah, well, as you know, or as I said earlier, it's not. No one does things, or very, very rarely do they specifically target a person. They're just doing whatever they're doing. Maybe they're just a terrible driver, So it's extremely unusual for people to aim their offences at you. And if we stop interpreting it in that way, we'll get a lot less angry.
Mark, listen, really good to talk to you. We'll get you back again. Thank you, Dr. Mark Sulman, expert in driver behaviour from Cranfield University. Of course, he says it's rare for a driver to specifically target you. Have you ever seen that documentary, Duel?
Yes.
Flipping it.
I don't think it's a documentary, is it? Is it a documentary?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
That was terrible.
That poor fella, but the bit in the petrol station with all the snakes. Absolutely
Terrible.
terrifying.
Something made me laugh. A text.
Oh, yeah?
Dave.
What? Good morning, Dave.
He said, my new car's headlight flasher arm is on the other side.
Oh,
After being cut up, I furiously wiped my wipers at the driver. Yeah. The thing that makes me angry is I keep doing it, and sometimes a bit of water comes out too. Well, that will happen.
Water's coming out of where, sorry? Oh, really?
Yeah.
08459 455 555 is the telephone number. 81333 is the text. Start your text 3CR. We'll talk parking in a bit. Don't worry, we'll make it interesting.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the A1M northbound, it's looking very slow at junction 6 for Welwyn Garden City, and in Mill Hill on the A41 Edgware Way. That's been closed by an accident at the Apex corner, which is causing slight delays. In Leighton Buzzard on the A4146 westbound, that's very busy between the Ledburn roundabouts and the Wing roundabout on the speed sensors, and it's also looking a bit busier in Bedford now on Bromham Road. That's looking slow between Days Lane and the Ashburnham Road. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hey, Sammy. 9:15, it's Friday the 20th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties has increased. Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a head injury. And millions of people will witness the sun do something.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Boring, isn't it? Blooming sun. Shy. Oh, look at the shy sun. It's so shy. It gives us stuff about it. Rubbish.
Oh, gosh, you're grumpy.
I'm not grumpy. It's... all right, yeah, no, actually, I'm grumpy, yeah. But it's rubbish,
just let people have a little bit of sun.
No. I'm going to be driving.
Fun.
I'm going to be... Sun fun. I'm going to be driving at that point, and I'm going to actually close my eyes for that whole hour.
What?
I mean, I'll pull off before then.
But will you have to put your lights on? Is it going to go that dark?
No, it's not. You won't notice it.
Oh.
Get a little bit overcast.
Right.
Nonsense. Utter nonsense.
I don't think you'll see it anyway. It's very foggy out there.
Good.
Good. It's just so miserable.
The sun is so arrogant, Jonathan. I guess I'm really angry.
But look, there will be lots and lots of children all over Beds, Herts and Bucks.
Yeah, bunking off of lessons.
Excited about this morning.
Go and learn maths. Don't look directly at the sun. Oh, for goodness, I've looked at the sun loads. It's all right.
Oh, are you sure? Is that why your eyes are so bloodshot?
You squint and you do that. It'll be all right. It'll be fine.
Really?
Yeah. But we're the BBC, so of course I'm joking and being ironic.
But I heard earlier you were mentioning that it's going to be, 2090, the next time that this is going to happen?
Well, the next full
we'll all be dead.
Well...
Literally, we will be dead.
Listen, mate, the way technology is going, we might not be. You don't know that for sure.
You and me, we will be dead.
Is that a threat?
We will be dead.
Are you threatening me? That's weird to come in and start threatening me.
Have you ever worked out, roughly, the year that you'll die?
Well, I had a prediction when I was 17, I'm 41 now, that I would die at the age of 42.
OK. At 42?
Yeah, so this year, probably.
Well, let's say... So it's 2015 at the moment.
Oh, yeah, this is fun.
How many more years are you going to live? So you're... how old are you?
41.
41.
30.
So another 30 years. So chances are you'll be dead by 2045.
Beautiful.
2045. Yep. Nowhere near 2090. You won't see it again. You'll be dead.
I can look at a picture of it if I really want to. I'll Google it. I'm not even that bothered to Google it. I don't care. It's just the sun. Boring. We should get rid of the sun.
You won't see the sun at all when you're dead.
Again with the threat. I feel threatened. I feel threatened. So it's a threat. Unbelievable. Kelly, can we just clip that bit? Can we just clip the bit of Jonathan threatening me? If I do die under suspicious circumstances, maybe with a cartwall shoved up my bum or something, just play it in court.
Can I take the last known picture
of you two together?
Oh, in case you're dead.
While you're making the threat, can you say you'll be dead by then?
You'll be dead by then.
Yeah.
Okay. There's the moment it happens.
Is that the moment?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go.
That's good, isn't it?
Well, it won't be good for you. I'd like to see your. You'll probably get Mr. What's his name? Mr. Dodgeball. Who's the lawyer? Mr. Dodgeball.
No, Mr. Loophole.
You'll get Mr. Loophole to defend you.
Nick Freeman.
Find a loophole there, mate. You've just confessed to it.
He'll get me off.
Really? Wow. What's on your show from 9 o'clock this morning?
Coming up on the big phone in this morning from 9. Have you experienced anger on the roads? I know you've been talking about this today.
Okay, yeah.
Incidents of road rage have gone up by 2/3 since 2012, with 1 in 5 drivers saying those incidents led to violence. Data from 15 police forces show that 1 in 3 drivers say they've been involved in an angry confrontation, and overall violent incidents are up 59% in the last year alone. Here in the 3 counties, Bedfordshire and the Thames Valley Police, they've reported an increase in aggressive incidents, whilst Hertfordshire has seen a steady decline. Those of us who drive in Hertfordshire, you see, we're a little more polite to one another.
Do you live in Hertfordshire?
I'm not telling you where I am. I'm not telling you where I am. I drive in Hertfordshire a lot.
Is that to another county, or is that mainly within those?
Who knows?
Interesting.
Who knows? But from 9 this morning, I'd like to hear your experiences with anger on the road. I mean, road rage seems quite extreme, doesn't it? When you say it when you think about it. I mean, when I think of road rage, I think of baseball bats and carving knives.
I'm always being invited. Not always. I have several times been invited over to the hard shoulder for a punch-up.
What?
Yeah. Seriously, I've had drivers...
What kind of driver are you?
I'm a very confident one. Honestly, I've had drivers who've pointed to the hard shoulder and made the fist sign. I'm assuming it's the fight they want.
Really?
Yeah. Quite a lot. And then I pretend to drive over, and then when they slow down, speed away.
Shall I tell you some of the most aggressive drivers in the world?
Yep.
Women in Harpenden. Have you ever been out in Harpenden?
I'm not getting involved in this.
Women in Harpenden.
I'm not getting...
Most of them drive Volvo 4x4s, and you cross a woman in Harpenden in a Volvo 4x4, you'll know about it.
Wow, that's Jonathan Vernon-Smith saying those words.
From 9 this morning, your experiences. Have you experienced anger on the roads? I'd love your story on 08459 455 555.
BBC introducing.
We first met James Bay in a band from Hitchin in 2008.
You never leave your little home.
As a solo artist in 2012, he uploaded his music to bbc.co.uk/introducing.
How we gonna move together?
Since then, he's been playlisted on national radio and is now signed to an international record label.
It was time to go and see what else was out there, explore the wider world with music.
And his debut album is released this Monday.
I'm not always thinking about lyrics, though, in that respect. It's sonically, it's about impact.
Hear James Bay talk about the album, track by track. Tomorrow night from 8 on BBC Introducing.
BBC Introducing. Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The community secretary has decided that you're going to get 10-minute grace in between your parking ticket running out and a traffic warden being able to slap a fine on your windscreen. Well, it turns out that some places actually do have a grace period anyway, but it's going to be across the board. The initiative is due to roll out nationally in April, but Welwyn Hatfield's jumping the gun and is starting on Monday. Well, Joe Audley is from the British Parking Association. Morning, Joe. Is this a good idea or a bit silly?
Good morning. Well, in a way it makes it uniform across, and it's only in England actually, it doesn't apply in Wales or Scotland. So if you're crossing the border you won't have the same grace period, but local authorities were offering it anyway according to circumstances, so it's just written into a piece of legislation now, something that was already there.
I don't get it, Joe, because surely all that will happen is, so you've got an hour, well, people come a little bit late over the hour, all that will happen now is people will come a little bit later than the 70 minutes and kick up a stink.
Well, this is possibly going to happen, but, it's going to be... You won't be able to sort of go, mitigating circumstances, and I did this and that, and they might let you off. They'll say, right, no, got 10 minutes, and that's it. So if you're 1 minute over the 10-minute grace period, then that's it.
I bet we'll get people phoning up, though, when this kind of rolls out, saying, well, I was only 1 minute over the grace period. Surely there should be some leniency on that. I kind of think, listen, if you park somewhere you're not supposed to park, or you park too long, you deserve a parking ticket.
Well, yes, a lot of people would agree with you on that, and so we'll have to wait and see what happens, but whether people will accept it or not. But most people don't get parking tickets anyway, so it's only going to apply to a small minority of people.
Have you ever had a parking ticket, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you do wrong? Too long?
Well, actually, mine was slightly a little bit more awkward than that. I needed to... Well, it was parked in a street once. This was a very long time ago, I have to say.
Did you need a wee or a poo or something?
Please. No, I needed to... there was no car parking, so I parked in a street that was restricted. Yes, but I used to get a parking ticket every 2 weeks on the same day that was less than the parking charge. Yeah, paper parking. So I paid it.
Oh, well, very, very naughty. Very naughty. Joe, listen, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Joe Audley from the British Parking Association. I do think if you park where you're not supposed to park, or you park for too long, then it is tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's tough. Really? We've all had parking tickets and we'll go, oh, no, oh, man, come on, man.
And you're right. What's going to happen is people will be quibbling between 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes.
Only 1 minute over the grace period.
What if your watch isn't the same as the traffic wardens? It won't be.
Well, I always check... mate, come on. When you get the ticket, you always check the time. You say, right, I've got to be back by 10:46. Or whatever it be. I don't know. Greg is from Bucks. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning.
Greg, can you do a French accent as good as mine?
Oh, I don't know about that, you know.
There is a bim, a minky. I've got a bim in my minky.
You got the bean in your minky?
Suddenly it's all got very erotic.
Isn't it just, though, you see?
He's gone mad. He's gone mad.
He's gone French, mate. What have you got for us, Greg?
Oh, parking tickets, they have no discretion. A minute, they're just straight on it. They don't even hold on.
Good.
A minute, maybe 10, maybe 15.
Well, it's going to be 10 minutes now, Greg. But if your parking runs out at 10:47, you're not there at 10:48. In my book, you should get a ticket.
Nah, not a minute. Maybe 10, maybe 15. But, they could go away and come back. And then if it's still there, then fair enough.
OK, so it's going to be that you are going to get 10 minutes grace now. So your parking ticket runs out at 10:47, but you've got 10 minutes grace. It's carried up to 10:57.
Yeah.
You turn up at 10:58 and the guy's writing a ticket. Are you going to be angry with him?
Oh, no.
Oh, and that's that sorted then, Greg.
Yeah, sorted. That's what I'm saying. Only a minute and they're straight on it. You know, because I've had tickets. But anyway, I didn't ring up to say that. It's road rages.
Yes.
So basically, road rage is only caused by rude people. I know you were saying that people don't necessarily become that angry walking along the street, but you will find that people do get angry depending on the situation. For example, I was coming out of Nando's, great restaurant.
Oh, I love it. I was in Nando's the other day, mate. Beautiful.
I was coming out of Nando's and I held the door for a couple and not a thank you. And I turn around and go, oh, no problem. I'll hold the door for you. I look like a butler to you, don't I? But so the public have no manners. On the road, it's even worse. I will admit, I am a person that will get slightly angry if somebody cuts me off.
You have been road rageful, but you would say that you've got manners.
I would say I've got manners.
But you've been road rageful. I think that anybody behind the wheel of a car can go nuts.
Yeah, anyone can. But that is the reason why they go nuts, is because the people don't have manners, as in the fact of that if I cut somebody off, and I know I've cut somebody off, or I've done whatever, I will wave, I will put my hazard lights on, I will apologise to that person. The people, where road rage comes from, is when if someone cuts you off, or being cut off, they think that they're in the right to do that, and if you beat them, they give you a finger for something they've done wrong to you.
Greg, I'm going to cut you off now. Ruth's in Stopsley. Good morning. Only because I want to squeeze Ruth in before the news. Morning, Ruth.
Good morning, Ian.
Oh, this is beautiful. We are asking for people to call in who will not be seeing the eclipse, what they'll be doing between 9:30 and 10:30. I did ask, and I thought I wouldn't get anybody on this, for somebody who will be underground during the eclipse, the furthest you could get away from that cocky sun. Where are you going to be, Ruth?
I'm going to be underground. I'm going to be in the large cellar area of the new Age Concern shop on George Street, sorting clothes.
Beautiful. Ruth is actually going to be. And how are you feeling about being underground during the eclipse?
I was down there yesterday. I was down there the day before.
Is there a load of?
It's a large cellar area, whitewashed.
Beautiful.
Plenty of room.
Yeah. You got any records down there?
Yes, there are some. The small vinyl ones, you know?
The singles? Small ones or big ones?
I've not looked closely.
OK.
If you're interested in that sort of thing, you'd better come in and ask Gary, the manager.
I will come and ask Gary, the manager. So, Ruth, just to confirm, when the eclipse is happening, there won't be another one in this country till 2090. You're going to be underground going through people's smalls.
All being well, yes.
Ruth, wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much indeed.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the A1M northbound, it's looking very slow from junction 6 at Welwyn Garden City, and elsewhere in Leighton Buzzard on the A4146 westbound, it's looking busy between the Ledburn roundabout and the Wing roundabout. In Bedford, it's busy on Bromham Road. It's looking very slow from the Branston Way towards Shakespeare Road, and in Watford on Lower High Street, it's looking busy around the Bushy Arches. And I can report that the eclipse has begun, but I can confirm on the CCTV cameras
Stick with the travel, please.
It's still shining.
Travel, please.
The A54 train from Bedford to Brighton has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Can someone have a word with Sammy off air? She's travel, she's not eclipses, all right? Outrage.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8:30. I'm Simon Oxley. The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties has increased. Thames Valley showed the biggest rise. Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a head injury. And millions of people will witness an eclipse of the sun later this morning at around 9:30. It will be a partial eclipse in the UK, although for many the view will be obscured by cloudy skies.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Kevin Peterson says he wants a face-to-face meeting with New England cricket chief Colin Graves as he steps up his bid for a comeback in this summer's Ashes.
Up till 2 weeks ago, there was no chance in a couple of people's minds that I would have the opportunity to come back, and it does make me hungry, and playing international cricket is something that I've dreamt of doing as a child, so given an opportunity, it's like being reborn or starting a career again.
Meanwhile, hosts Australia are playing Pakistan in the third Cricket World Cup quarter-final. Pakistan were all out for 213. Australia 44 for 1 from 8 overs in reply. Everton are out of the Europa League after a 5-2 defeat away to Dynamo Kiev saw them exit 6-4 on aggregate. It means England has failed to provide a quarter-finalist in any European competition for the first time since 1993. In tomorrow's football, Championship leaders Watford host Ipswich, having added defender Matthew Connolly to their squad on loan from Cardiff. The Hornets will again be without Alman Abdi, but coach Dean Austin says the key midfielder should be back at Easter.
We have had to deal with Alman being injured this year, and the team's coped. We have a strong squad. That's why you have a squad, and the team's coped without him, and it'll cope without him again now.
In League One, MK Dons are at home to Notts County with a fitness doubt over Dean Bowditch and with midfielder Darren Potter serving the second of a two-match ban. In League Two, Luton and Wickham don't play until Tuesday evening's meeting at Kenilworth Road. Tomorrow, Stevenage hosts Dagenham. Victory would lift the borough above Luton in the playoff places. Bedford Town chairman David Howell says the club is up for sale with the current board standing down at the end of the season. He made the announcement at a public meeting at the club last night. And Bedford Rugby Club are in championship action this evening. They host the Cornish Pirates with a 7:45 kick-off at Goldington Road. The Blues have already beaten the Pirates twice this season. There's online commentary via the BBC Sport website. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 9.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Road rage, the eclipse. Oh, well done, that woman. I honestly didn't think we'd get any calls. What are you doing instead of watching the eclipse? Where will you be? 08459 455 555. We had a woman I asked for somebody who will be underground during the eclipse. We had a woman who's going to be sorting through a basement. How cool is that, Justin?
Hey, it's cool. Boss, how's your boring studio?
It's brilliant, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, brilliant. I'm not being surrounded by either children wearing boxes or sad cases.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or losers.
Right.
And I'm not looking upwards. My neck is on an even keel.
Yeah. I've been in those studios many times, and I can assure you they are boring. They are boring.
You're going to like the eclipse, because when you do your show in the studio, you have the lights down low.
Yeah.
You have it dark like there's an eclipse going on 24/7.
Yeah, setting an atmosphere, not being miserable like you this
Not
morning.
miserable,
What is your problem? What is your beef with the eclipse? Come on.
Part of my problem with the eclipse is the arrogance of the sun.
Right, yes.
Part of my problem is you.
Right.
Do you know what a layman is yet?
No, it's just a simple term. Deal with it.
No, but you've used the term layman 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
You don't know what it means. Who is the layman?
I don't know who the layman is.
Please don't use that term until you know who he is.
Okay.
Gordon Bennett.
I'm live right now at Dunstable Downs. Quite simply, one of the greatest sights in the whole of the world.
I want to listen. Let's just listen to some of the birds there.
Yeah.
And to some of the nature. Let's just have a listen. Shh. What's that, Just? What's that noise?
That, my friends, is the sound of a peacock.
Wowzers.
Yeah, peacocks are here.
Sounds absolutely fantastic.
Do you know what else there are on Dunstable Downs?
Go on.
Wallabies.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are they arrogant wallabies?
Yeah, they don't give them monkeys.
There's monkeys there as well?
Yep.
Wowzers.
There are wallabies, that's true.
Oh, right. Now, you reckon that people have got no excitement for this?
No, I reckon that people...
Whoa, hang on. Yes or no?
No. I reckon that... No.
No?
No, yes. What's the question and what's the right answer?
Do you think people are excited about the eclipse, yes or no?
Yeah, sad cases are.
Sad cases are?
Yeah.
OK. But let's talk to two of those sad cases. Greg, good morning. You're live across Beds, Herts and Bucks. Iain says that you're a sad case. Are you a sad case?
Yes, I am, but I'm an excited sad case because it doesn't happen that often.
How excited are you?
Very excited. I was up at 7, ready, planning. I sorted out my camera equipment, everything a few days before. That's how sad I am.
So what have you got over there then? Because you're here with Val, who's booked a day off work to be here today. Tell us what you got.
Basically, I've got my camera. It's got a zoom. You don't need a telescope as such. You just need something that you can get an image on. I've got my filter to attach to the camera because, of course, you shouldn't view it directly.
Yeah, I mean, Ian's absolutely thrilled this morning that it's cloudy, and it is very, very cloudy here right now. What's going to happen? Are we going to see anything today?
Yes, it's just like fog. It will burn off. So I'm hoping by about 9 o'clock this should start burning off, and then we should start to see the sun.
OK, fingers crossed. Let's bring Edward into the conversation as well. Hello. Edward, you got your specs there. You're well up for this, aren't you?
Yeah, it's great. It's a bit disappointing to see all the clouds, but as he just said, hopefully it will all clear up later, so we'll actually see something.
Now, the last eclipse was when?
In 99.
And where did you go for that?
I went with my parents to a big field in France.
Oh, right.
Because we're that grade, and it was really fun and exciting. I was about, I think, 9 at the time, and we went there again with our trendy little eclipse specs, and we were with a few hundred other people there. We did a coach trip, and yeah, it was really great to see it. A lot clearer than today.
Yeah, OK, fingers crossed something's going to happen. OK, just lastly, man to man here, and you look like a very intelligent guy. Are you a saddo? Yes or no? Answer that question for me, boss, and answer it right now.
Probably yes.
OK, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come in for a hug, come here. Great stuff. Good to meet you, Edward. Thank you very much. Edward and Greg, lots more people are turning up, boss.
How many people are there, Just?
At the moment, I would say, and more cars are coming in. Good morning to you, madam. I would say there's probably a good 25 here right now.
OK. And just tell me exactly what, with the mist and the fog there, just what exactly can you see when you look up?
As I look up right now, I can see grey skies. But, hang on. We heard there from Greg. He's got his equipment. He says, don't worry, guys. That's going to burn off.
He hopes so, because his mate has taken the day off work. Imagine if we all did that. Imagine the country ground to a halt. It's like medieval times.
Yeah. Well, this is not going to happen, I think you said, until, what, 2090? So this will be the last chance a lot of people will have to see something this special, this unique, from one of the greatest places on this planet. I've travelled the world. I've travelled, and I can tell you right now, Dunstable Downs is a fabulous place.
Well, hang on a minute. Yeah, whether you're not saying anything.
Travelled the world.
Well, that's irrelevant. Dunstable Downs is a fabulous place, but if you'd have said I've travelled the world and Dunstable Downs is the most fabulous place in the world, well, that's a statement.
It's up there. It's up there.
Well, in the top 20?
It's up there in the top 50, yeah.
So it's not even in the top 20 best places in the world?
No, it's definitely in the top 5, actually, for me. In all seriousness, we've come here this morning because you get some fantastic views anyway, and we thought a lot of people would be coming up here. What we don't want to hear from this morning, I don't want to hear from some expert who's going to be preaching to me. I want to hear from the Joe public, people like Val, who have booked the day off work, people like Edward, who are coming up here, and these people, they're excited.
Carpet Martin has tweeted, I can't help but feel if you offered to shout Dealey at Prizzies at 9:30, he'd ditch those losers on the Downs ASAP.
I was going to say, I mean, the centre up here has opened early for me this morning. It's opened at 8:30, and they do a lovely breakfast. Next.
Goodbye, Justin. Oh, what's on your show tomorrow?
The show tomorrow, we are doing the UK and American charts from this weekend in 1970. Oh, and also Andy Fraser from Free. He sadly died this week. I've managed to find my interview with him. I met him about a year ago. I'll be replaying that, and our listener votes, 2 for the price of 1. Who do you want to hear 2 songs in a row from? This week, Neighbours was 30. 2 songs in a row from Kylie, or 2 songs in a row from Jason.
Too many broken hearts in the world. There's too many dreams can be broken into. Too many broken hearts in the world, but I won't give up the fight for you.
There was a lady sitting in her car right now listening to your programme with a fag on the go, and she is laughing. What's your name, madam?
Lillian. Fag Ash Lil.
What's your name, love? Danny? Oh, OK, it's Danny.
Well, don't say it like that. Good morning, Danny! Do you want a bit more Jason from me?
She says yes.
Let me try and think of some more Jason. Hang on a second.
Come on, Danny. Come on, get out of the car. Come on. Smoking's bad
But
for you.
there's a chill in the air as I walk through the town, and the lights all go down over London town. Even though we're apart, there's a da-da-da-da. 'Cause I know, yes I know, it's just a matter of time. I'm missing your love until you come back to me. I'm counting the hours until you return. There's a pain in my heart, and know how I've got to be. Oh, how the fire will burn.
She says you can stop now.
Oh, thanks, Danny.
Yeah, thanks for the finger as well, Danny.
So she doesn't want especially for you.
I want to let you know what I've been going through. You know, if dreams were true, I would have flown to you to be where. I started way too low. Justin, thank you very much.
No matter how far. Oh, we finished.
Though it's gonna be a cold, lonely winter summer. Anyway, I tell you what, I was watching the SpongeBob SquarePants, the first movie.
Why? You hate him.
The boys love it, man. They flippin' love it. And there's a bit that really made me laugh. You know, David Hasselhoff comes in. The bit where SpongeBob and the starfish, they're stuck on the beach.
Patrick.
And then David Hasselhoff comes running along in their shorts. Obviously, he means nothing to the boys. So the boys now say, oh, look, because he mentions his name, oh, look, it's David Hasselhoff. But when he comes running along the beach... Both my boys went, ah, boobies! Boobies! Poor David Hasselhoff. Texas.
Yeah.
Yes?
We're asking where you're going to be at 9:20.
Yes, please.
If you're not going to be looking at the eclipse.
And extra points if you're going to be underground.
Well, Jen's not underground, but she might be under.
Oh.
I'll be enjoying the eclipse from my dentist's chair. My root canal is scheduled for 9:20.
Hey! Also, if you're going to be in court today at 9:30, let us know what you could be going down for.
Martin in Biggleswade says, I've just seen a boy dressed as a caveman heading to school. Does he know more about this eclipse than we do? The world be doomed.
Hey.
And Liam reminisces about the last time he saw an eclipse. Do you want to follow me back to 1999?
Oh, go on then.
He said he was with an absolute...
Hang on a second. Let's make this a little bit... here we go.
Liam, in 1999, I was with an absolute dish of an Irish girl named Roisin. We were in a coffee lounge at M&S HO, then in Baker Street, head office. And we watched the reflection of the total eclipse via a car with a tinted rear window conveniently parked outside. Unfortunately, no, I didn't. Roisin was married.
They looked at a car window?
That's clever.
Imagine there are people in the car.
Yeah, what are they doing?
Ted says, we have an eclipse every day. It's called nighttime. The actual ground you're on blocks the sun. And Tanline says, the cloud and fog has eclipsed our eclipse down the south coast.
Oh.
So it really is a day for losers.
Do you not want to watch it with me?
Oh, mate.
We'll have a moment. We'll hold hands.
I don't want to touch you. I do want to touch you, but you get funny when people... You don't like human contact.
No, not
of the
from,
physical kind.
Not from you.
From anyone?
I don't mind it from some people.
Hey.
Me, you love it.
I love it from Kath.
Got any more texts before I...
We have, but they're largely silly and irrelevant. Do you want them anyway?
Yeah, of course I do. It's this show.
OK. You've got to get Iain to play Tulips from Amsterdam by Max Bygraves.
I want to tell you a little bit of a story.
He was trying to do an impression of him earlier and get him to sing along, says Rob from Luton.
Let's do that one.
House.
At 9:30, I won't be looking at the sun because I've bought the Daily Telegraph. Says Chris in England and lost.
Chris is banned from the show. Chris, you're banned.
England.
Chris, you're banned.
Pat in Buckingham. Iain, Kelly and Catherine.
Good morning, Pat.
Hi, good morning.
Just want to say, you three brighten up my day. Not Justin, no mention of Justin.
Yeah, that's correct.
You're so funny, and I think they should make a sitcom starring you. Maybe you should throw that out to your listeners. What would that sitcom be called?
Does Pat have any influence in the BBC?
Dunno.
Then Pat, jog on, fella.
Is it Pat Hall?
What?
Adam from Hemel. I'll be understairs during the eclipse exchanging a 3-phase electricity meter.
That's what we want. Where are you? Thank you for those. We've got another 15 minutes. Where are you going to be instead of looking at the sun this morning at 9:30? Extra points if you're going to be underground. 08459 455 555.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Looking at the motorways to start with, the A1M northbound's looking slow at junction 6 for Welwyn Garden City, and Mill Hill on the A41 Edgware Way. There's a lane blocked by an accident at the Apex corner, which is causing slight delays, and in North Watford on the A41 Northwest Avenue, it's looking very busy around the Dome roundabout. In Kings Langley on the A41 southbound, it's slow just before the M25 junction 20 for Kings Langley. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. It's 8:45. It's Friday, the 20th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your I nearly said it. You type it on a screen and I'll read it. I nearly said I was Elizabeth. Isn't that silly? These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The number of road rage incidents reported to police in the three counties has increased. Police investigating the murder of a man in a Buckinghamshire village say he died from a head injury. And millions of people will be banging on about how they can't see the eclipse this morning because there's going to be loads of cloud. Ha, ha, ha.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, very good morning to you. Yes, there's going to be lots of cloud. Unfortunately, it looks like it is a very cloudy picture, which is a shame, isn't it, Ian? But we will see it go dark for a time, perhaps yes it is, at about 9:30. That's when the eclipse is going to peak. May I recommend Stargazing Live for you, Ian, which starts at 9 o'clock on BBC One, and I think we'll get a really good view from there because the eclipse has already started over parts of Cornwall. Now, as we head through the rest of the morning, it's actually going to brighten up, ironically. Lots of sunshine by the afternoon. And we'll see top temperatures in the sunshine, very pleasant, up to 12 or 13 Celsius, 55 in Fahrenheit. So a pretty nice day all in all, or turning into one anyway. Overnight tonight, a few dribs and drabs of rain over the higher ground. It'll be very light. There'll be lots of cloud around. A fairly mild start to the weekend, 5 or 6 degrees. And then for the weekend, we've got a keen northerly breeze developing, so it'll feel quite windy on Saturday, and it will feel cooler the whole weekend, but some fresher, cleaner air. The air quality is going to improve, which is a nice thing. Lots of sunshine, particularly on Sunday. That's the forecast.
Every weekday morning.
Let me get on with your consumer problems.
Should I expect it to last as a £350 TV or a £250 TV?
Jonathan Vernon Smith.
Have you gone back to the retailer? I went and spoke to the company that you'd paid the money to.
The JVS show fights for your rights and tackles your consumer problems.
So I emailed again and reminded them of the statutory rights, which I've heard in your programme.
If you need our help, email jvsshow@bbc.co.uk.
They've backed down and they have put in writing to me that I no longer owe the money.
And we could do the same for you.
That's fantastic news. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Your team is fantastic because you look after the people.
The JVS show, weekdays from 9 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
It says on my screen, Harriet, this is going to be a pointless call from you. Prove those suckers wrong.
Oh, did they really put that?
Yes, they did.
Oh, dear.
But Harriet, prove them wrong.
Okay. Well, when you talked about road rage earlier,
yes,
I was just thinking I don't really do road rage, and the reason is I sort of take the mickey out of the drivers that are being stupid.
Yeah.
So if a driver does something stupid, like decides to go 80 in a 60 zone and calms me up and nearly crashes into a car going the other way,
yeah,
I could get angry at them, but I just sit there and go, you really want to drive like that? Oh, dear.
Harriet, stay there. You're so wrong, Kelly. You are so... This is not pointless, this is pointful.
That's what I meant to put.
You've put pointless call from Harriet.
No, you've misread that.
Just wanted to say, I would never write anything like that.
This is a pointful call. So what do you do, Harriet? Do you diffuse the situation by blowing them we're learning. Diffuse the situation by blowing them a cheeky kiss, or how do you do it?
I don't make contact with them. I just say something ironic which makes me smile, and
you diffuse
then I don't
yourself.
get angry. And yeah, quite.
You prick yourself.
Pretty right.
You metaphorically prick yourself to release any tension that may be building up.
Yeah.
And that makes your life a lot less stressful.
Hell yeah.
Pointful call. What are you going to be doing at 9:30 this morning, Harriet?
I'm probably going to be chained to a till in the garden centre.
Well, they chain you there now. I'm sure that goes against EU guidelines.
No, they don't actually chain you, but...
Maybe they should. Could be an idea. Harriet, always good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Paul on the Texas says, I'll be up on a ladder at eclipse time.
Trying to get closer?
I can't see Jack here anyway.
Who's Jack?
He didn't put Jack. He put asterisks in Ashwell. So I will go in the garage and make a brew. Cheers all, Painterman Paul.
We've done this. 08459 455 505.
Where's Brian Cox gone?
If you're going to be underground, We can also, in the last 10 minutes, are you going to be overground? Are you going to be higher up than normal? Because there'll be some people that will go on the roof to get a better view. What, you're 20 feet up? But are you going to be higher than ground level? Below ground level and higher than ground level? We can ask Brian Cox where he's going to be. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Ian. How are you? Professor Brian Cox here.
That's really amazing, Brian. Are you looking forward to the eclipse today?
Absolutely amazing. The solar eclipse, only 0.00001% of the stars are visible by the naked eye.
Right. That's not relevant to the solar eclipse, though, is it?
But it's still amazing, Ian.
Okay.
Nothing to do with it, but it's still amazing.
Where are you going to be today, Brian, at 9:30?
I'm going to be underneath this toxic Russian cloud, watching the solar eclipse make the sky go dark. Absolutely amazing. Amazing it can do that at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Why is this so significant, Brian? Why are people getting so excited?
The most amazing event. I'll be 130. I'll be 130 before the next solar eclipse hits us.
OK, but why is this one important?
Just totally amazing.
You keep saying, Brian, sorry to interrupt, you keep saying it's amazing, but you don't tell me why it's amazing. And I've noticed you do that quite a lot with your programmes. You say things are amazing, but you don't then specify where the amazement is coming from. Maybe you could try here.
Well, it's just the nature of the universe, how all the stars, they're all in their own significant place. Yeah,
but that's got nothing to do with the actual eclipse. I'm sorry to push you on this, Brian. Why is the eclipse amazing?
Well, if you can see the sun for the first time with a naked eye.
Didn't think you were supposed to look at the sun with the naked eye, Brian.
But I made this pinhole camera. I made a pinhole camera so I can see it. It's just amazing.
OK. Brian, you've not been... You've not really specified why it's amazing, but I appreciate you taking the time to make a call.
Thank you, Ian. It's just amazing. Your show is amazing.
OK, Brian, you keep saying amazing. OK. Well, I mean, it's good that we have Brian Cox on. He's a big name, as we all know. My mum loves Cox, but... I mean, she can't get enough of Cox. No. Honestly.
You can tell.
You phone her up and all she's talking about is Cox, Cox, Cox.
He's very good.
Yeah, she was... I was watching the telly last night. Cox, Cox, Cox. I love Cox. Can't get enough of Cox.
I love it too, but I get mesmerised and realise I'm not taking anything in at all.
Baz is in Bletchley. Good morning, Baz.
Morning, Ian. How are you doing?
Very naughty, Baz. Very naughty.
No, you're very naughty this morning.
Naughty but nice. What have you got for us, Baz?
I'm sorry you won't be on at 9:30. But could you have a word with JVS?
Oh, yeah, of course I can. We're great mates.
So we can have a record.
What do you mean, have a record?
Well, make some music.
Why do you want him to make some music?
Don't let the sun go down on me.
Hey, Baz, that is brilliant! And when it's ending, here you go, when it's ending, you could have Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles.
Absolutely.
Hey, and then when it's finished, you can have Good Day Sunshine by the Beatles.
Oh, lovely.
And then you could have,
Penny Lane.
Father and Son by Boyzone.
That is great. I'm going to...
Nice to talk to you, Ian.
That's wonderful to talk to you.
JVS is really excited by that.
I look forward to... What's he saying about Road Rage?
Yeah.
He'll get 20 minutes out of that. Yeah. And then he can just play lots of songs about the sun. Yeah. Thank you, Baz. That is an excellent idea. He should be a producer here.
Yeah. Do you want some Eclipse memories?
Not really.
Give me some Eclipse memories music and I'll tell you one anyway. Go on.
Hang on a second. All right, hang on a second. Let me get some Eclipse... OK.
Dave in Hitchin. Hi, Ian. Say hello.
Hello, Dave.
The thing I remember the most about the 1999 eclipse was the morning chorus that followed from the birds.
Are you actually texting in your favourite eclipse moments? Really? Goodness gracious me.
Let me continue with the reminiscence. The birds, as the wildlife, appeared to be completely confused when the sun reappeared. Unfortunately, I'll be driving to Norwich. That is a shame.
That is quite funny that animals are going to be confused. I like that bit of it. Birds and cats are going to go to sleep. Idiots! Idiots!
He won't get to see the eclipse, but I'll be listening for it on the radio, and I've packed a torch just in case the sun doesn't come back.
Oh, yeah, the moon likes it there so much it just hangs. They have, like, kind of celestial
They're
intercourse,
good
I guess.
chemistry.
Yeah, good chemistry. Anyone else telling us about things they did in the past that I've got no interest in?
No, we've got some questions.
Oh, well, as you know, I can answer questions.
Dave,
Just
can you...
the fat?
No, not really.
No,
It's more scientific than that, I'd say.
yeah.
More scientific. Dave says, can you walk on the sun at night?
Of course you can. It's dark and cold. Next.
I can see the eclipse, says Rob. Good.
Anything else? Where is Zayn Malik going to be at 9:20? That's what I want to know. Where's Zayn going to be? I hope maybe he's just quit the tour to come back to England to watch the eclipse.
I just hope that wherever he is, he finds peace.
Zayn, come on, man! Don't do a Jerry Spice on us. And that is Jerry Spice warming up her vocal cords. First thing in the morning.
Don't look at the sun, guys.
How brainy is your child?
Really brainy.
Well, no.
Both of them.
No.
They're
I'm
extraordinary.
so brainy. It's not even here yet.
The answer is in their hands. Children with... Oh, for goodness
Filthy
sakes.
then, full of bogey.
Children with matching pairs of hands. What do you mean matching pairs of hands?
What, with their thumbs on the same way?
What? Children with matching pairs of hands are quicker-witted than those whose hands are less symmetrical. Research has shown... You're taking them. What is this rubbish? They are able to react faster in mental tests. Even after accounting for age and gender differences, scientists have found... Who are these scientists? Well, the thing is, these scientists would have been, having a fag or something, a beer. We should test intelligence in kids' hands.
These scientists are just nothing more than mums sitting around having a coffee and going...
It's Mumsnet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is Mumsnet the same as Net Mums?
No.
So what? So we always get
That's
the Net Mums...
That's like the Judean People's Front and the People's Front of Judea.
So we always get the Net Mums on. Why don't we get the Mumsnet on? We always get Net Mums on.
Our own BBC prejudice.
Well, why don't we get Mumsnet on? Because no one's ever heard of Net Mums.
And Mumsnet more sweary, is that why?
Well, I don't know. And listen, all the Net Mums we've had on have been wonderful, but they're not Mumsnet. And it's a bit cheeky. It's like me starting my own broadcasting corporation and calling it the CBB. Do you know what I mean? Or VIT.
Why?
Well, it's ITV. You just swap the end around.
Television.
But it's just, so can we start getting Mumsnet on instead of Net Mums? Because let's be honest, no one knows who Net Mums are. Everyone knows who Mumsnet are, I think.
Or
anyway,
is it the other way round?
The findings suggest a link from an early age between body symmetry and brain performance. Previous studies have shown that men with more symmetrical faces, well, I've got a wonky eye, are likely to experience less mental decline as they age.
Oh.
Lead researcher, oh, dearie me, Professor Iain Deary. That's actually quite funny.
Yeah,
don't analyse it because it doesn't actually make sense.
It's not really that.
Director of the Centre for Cognitive Ageing and Cognitive
Epidemiology?
Thank you. Let me just see what that spells. Cage. At Edinburgh University said the connection between physical symmetry and reaction time should be an important Scottish should be an important clue to health and well-being over a person's life course. This finding can shed light on how the mind and body develop together from childhood to older age.
I don't know what you've just said.
I know, but the accent was beautiful, wasn't it?
Thank you very much indeed.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Mill Hill on the A41 Edgware Way, there's a lane blocked because a van has broken down at the Apex corner, and there's been an accident with that van and a car. In Enfield on the A10 Great Cambridge Road, it's looking very busy between Hoe Lane and the M25 junction, 25 for Enfield. And on Park Street on the A414, it's stop-start at the Park Street roundabout on the North Orbital Road. In Aylesbury, looking at the speed sensors on Friarage Road, that's looking very busy between the Oxford Road roundabout and the Walton Street roundabout. And on the train departure boards, the 9:18 service from Luton to Brighton has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. Right, I'm driving up to Birmingham. If anyone wants a fight, I'll be there in about 2.5 hours. I'll be the tall fella with my fists clenched, ready to strike. That's it, that's your lot. There'll be a new podcast up today. Thank you to Kelly for putting it together. Thank you, Justin, for hanging out with some sad cases. Thanks, Catherine, for making it real. Back on Monday at 6. Until then, from us, ta-ta.
Local and vocal across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Iain. Good morning. Welcome to the JVS show. I'm Jonathan Vernon Smith. It's Friday. It's 9 o'clock. And on today's big phone-in, have you experienced anger on the roads? Incidents of road rage have gone up by 2/3 since 2012.